Hello, hello everybody. Welcome, welcome. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the stream today. Come on in, you guys. Hi, my name is Princess Evillan. If you don't know me, I'm a streamer here on Twitch, and I post almost everything I do, all the VODs we make, all the videos that I make here on Twitch. I post them all onto youtube.com/@princessevillanvods. So if you're looking for the beginning of this game, you're looking for other games that we've played, you're looking for something specific that we've played, go check out the VODs channel. But anyways, today we are playing more Highway Blossoms. Happy Visual Novel Friday, everybody. I'm very excited. I want to see what's going on with these girls. The last time we played, we took a road trip to the Grand Canyon. And I talked a lot about the Grand Canyon, about how it's just a big hole in the ground. And we met Mariah's crew there, and they were looking for the treasure, and so we gave them a hint that I was going to be up at this, what is it? It's like it's not a reservation. What is it? It's like a national park. It's like a national park. So we give them hints that they're up at the national park, and there's a lot of traffic up there. So we hit up a diner, and we meet Mariah's crew again. And as we meet Mariah's crew, we're reminiscing about things that our grandpa has done with us, and, you know, just making conversation. And we remember that there was this big, like, archway. We're looking for archways. And there was one called Chip Off the Old Block, and it had, the area is between two different arches, and so we think that might be the area where our prospector left his gold. So we realize at the same time that Mariah realizes it, and then we go off speeding and making horrible roadway decisions, trying to get there first. And I think we ended up getting there first, so I hope we find more treasure this time. We didn't find any treasure last time. We haven't found treasure since the first episode of this, I think. The first place we go to, we find the treasure. Second place, we didn't find it. And then this is the third place. This is, I think, the last place, too. So, hopefully we'll be able to find some more treasure and get some money. But anyways, let's transition. There we go. And let's load our game and see what's going on with these girls. When I stand up, my legs wobble. I stumble, grabbing Marina's shoulder for support. She smiles at me, but doesn't say anything. No more jokes to crack. It's time to get serious. We grab our equipment and hurry out into the night air. Solid ground feels foreign after the rocketing motorhome. This must be what it feels like to return from a voyage at sea. Marina, the landlubber, doesn't seem to be having any trouble now that we're not barreling along the highway. The spring in her step has returned, and I worry that she's going to bang the metal detector against the ground as she half walks, half skips. Some of the other people watch us go, but no one follows or says anything. They probably assume we're just the next in a line of failures. A line which must be pretty long, given how much trash and misplaced earth there is around here. Pangs of guilt remind me yet again of the broken brick at Canyon Shea, and I make my upteenth resolution to be more careful. Just ahead, Marina's come to a stop. Head tilted back, I can tell she's admiring balanced rock. Is that it in the background right here? Because that's really cool. I don't know how that happened, but that is really cool. There's this big boulder up on top of like a pillar. So cool. It's certainly an impressive view, you're telling me. Someday I'd like to take her back to all these places we've gone, without the pressure of the treasure hunting rushing us. Just take in the sights. I slow my step a little so I can keep watching her from behind. Maybe sensing me, she spins around and waves.
Hurry up!
Yelling, even though I'm close enough to hear her normal volume level. I pick up the pace once more.
So where was Chip?
Over there, to the right.
To the right. There's a large stone wall besides balanced rock itself, with a short slope between them.
It was right at the edge of that little hill.
So where that pile of rocks is now?
Yep, that's the spot.
I love this bass line in the background. Feels like we're doing something naughty. Feels like we're getting into trouble. You can't tell that there used to be anything here, but I've seen pictures in the atlases Gramps kept around or in the history books he liked to read. Compared to balanced rock, chip off the old block looked tiny, but it was actually a decent size. There's a pile of stones at the base that are probably Chip's remains. They're indistinguishable from the rest of the red rocks, though. Some are as big as my head, or even bigger. It's hard to tell if anyone has picked through here, but since there aren't any shovel marks or holes, I'm guessing not.
Where do we start?
I think for a moment.
First, let's get the easy stuff out of the way. You go check that side with the metal detector, and I'll check this one.
Fair. We sweep over the ground between the hill where Chip once stood and the massive stone wall beside it. Nothing.
Okay, that's pretty much what I expected.
I lean my metal detector against the wall and go back to the pile of rocks.
Just check over the places that I uncover, okay?
Marina nods, holding her detector at the ready. She reminds me of a surgeon about to perform an operation. I roll aside some of the rocks with my feet, but most are so big that I have to stoop down and use my hands. There are more of them than I thought, and soon I'm sweaty and sore.
Do you want any help?
Nah,
I don't think Marina'd be much help anyways. I'm panting.
just keep scanning.
She does so, dutifully retracing my steps. Still nothing. After a couple minutes, I stand up and take a swig from a water bottle. I'm glad I remembered to bring them this time. Marina sets down her metal detector to do the same.
Do you think Tess and them are okay?
They're probably fine. Probably pissed off they went in the wrong direction.
Why wouldn't they be?
Don't you think Mariah's gonna flip out when she realizes she took the wrong turn?
Yeah, that's Mariah's
Probably.
problem.
That's her fault, though.
That's what I was thinking. Thank you, Amber. You're always on point with me. Amber and I are on such a good wavelength with each other.
Not like you would have let her go down this side of the road.
Hey, I did what I had to do.
Truth.
Uh-huh. But you're never going to do that again, okay?
Fair. That's fine. We shouldn't be last time we played, there was it was a 2-lane road, or it was a 1-lane road with 2 lanes on it, one going each way, and we were driving through the national park, and there was a big semi, I guess, and we had to get around the semi, so we went into the other lane, which was opposite the traffic that we were going, and there was a car coming, and so we had to slip between the car that was coming at us and the semi that was stopping, letting us get ahead of it because we were forcing our way in, and that was super scary. Even I was scared. I was like, I can't imagine doing that in real life. That'd be terrifying. So I'm with Marina on that. No more of that, please.
If we get the next treasure too, I won't have to.
Truth. Let's find that
When
treasure.
we get it, you meanie.
Right. When?
Right. Only one more to go after this. One more frantic search, and then I drain my water bottle and crumple it up before shoving it into my pocket.
Break's over. Back to work.
I pop my back and resume moving rocks out of the way. I've been working from the outer edge of the rock pile inwards since they're more concentrated in the center. Like a shadow, Marina continues to stick to me, going where I go. Nearly 10 minutes of uninterrupted shuffling pass. By now, I'm expecting Mariah to have caught up or to get here soon. But she never arrives. Maybe she just gave up. Although knowing Mariah, that's just wishful thinking. I've just finished moving a torso-sized rock when it happens. The metal detector begins to chirp, right in earnest. Marina and I exchange a look and I nod.
I'll get the shovel!
It's leaning up against the wall by the second metal detector. Marina grabs it and starts back towards me, then doubles back to set her detector aside as well. I move to take the shovel from her, but she holds it away, shaking her head.
Nuh-uh. You moved all the rocks.
Oh, that's pretty fair, Marina. Way to not make Amber do all the work.
Yeah, but
She frowns at me, and I can tell this is an argument I won't win.
Okay. Be careful, though. Don't throw out your shoulder.
She's
I
just
know
digging.
what I'm doing.
It's just a shovel. She's just digging. It'll be fine. And she stabs at the ground like she's wielding a salad fork. It bounces off with a jolt.
You need to go at it with more of an angle, like you're trying to slide it into the ground.
I move behind her and adjust her arms a little. Her shoulders are damp with sweat, though I'm drenched with it. She tenses up when I first touch her, but relaxes almost immediately. It's enough to make me self-conscious, though, and I take a quick step back.
Sorry.
I'm mumbling.
Oh, no, you're fine. You just surprised me.
Her voice is higher than usual. Oh.
It's okay. You should have it now.
There you go. Nodding, Marina jabs at the ground again. She scoops out a little bit of dirt and dumps it aside. Watching her dig is painful. Either the ground is hard or she's not strong enough to make fast progress. Whatever the reason, it's slow going, but she refuses my repeated offer to take over, so with my hands on my hips, I watch as the hole very slowly gets deeper. She's reached a depth maybe a foot or so when the shovel thumps against something that isn't dirt. Her eyes instantly meet. I stoop down and brush a little bit of the dirt away from the shovel blade. Sure enough, I can feel rough wood just under my fingertips.
Is it?
Is it treasure?
Yeah, it is.
Ooh. Now she forces the shovel towards me.
I don't want to mess it up.
Oh, Marina, you're fine. It's just digging. It's in a box.
Okay. Look out.
Look out. She steps back a couple feet but leans forward to watch. I scrape at the dirt around the spot that we hit, trying to find where the edges are. Once I reveal one corner, I start to dig thin slices of dirt next to it. Soon the outline of the whole box is visible. I hear Marina second a sharp breath. My heart is pounding with the same cautious excitement I felt at Shiprock. It hardly feels real, and yet, well, there's only a 10% chance that I'm dead, and it isn't. I lift the box out of the ground with the blade of the shovel, and Marina plucks it off. It makes a familiar rattling sound as she moves it. Oh my god, Marina, not so high. That was really loud. But I hold a dirty finger to my lips.
Not yet.
Not yet. Looking back towards the parking lot, I can't tell if anyone has seen us dig and find the treasure.
Don't say anything until we get back to the car.
She's a quivering leaf of excitement, but she manages to keep her mouth mostly shut for now. But not before hissing out an excited, Amber! Marina's adorable. I just smile, hoping that I look calm. Marina cradles the box in the crook of her arm like an infant, doing her best to keep it hidden from onlookers as we head back to the motorhome. She carries the shovel in her free hand while I have both metal detectors. I don't even notice the soreness in my arms. Did we find it? Though it's not the first time, the excitement of sitting down in front of the sealed box of gold feels fresh and new. This one feels heavier than the last one, and it rattles less, like there's not much empty space. Without being asked, Marina retrieves the screwdriver and hammer that I've been using to smash the locks. She sets them down in front of me, but I offer them to her.
Care to do the honors?
Ooh, go ahead, Marina, you do it.
You sure?
You won't mess it up, you'll be fine, you're just breaking a lock. But she takes them.
Yeah, why not?
Her face lights up with a look of happiness that's worth more to me than the gold. If I'd known it was that big of a deal for her, I'd let her do this back at Shiprock. It takes her a couple tries, but she bashes the lock off without even damaging the rest of the box. Hey, there you go. She looks at me to open it, but I shake my head.
Nope, that's all you.
It's all you, girlfriend. Do it. But she shakes her head too.
We worked together to find it, so we'll open it together.
There you go. Alright. She places her hand over mine, guiding it to the lid.
Ready?
Yeah.
She maneuvers my hand to flip the box open. Gold! Gold! It's full of dull-colored nuggets, like a moldy fast food meal. I take one out, bouncing it in my palm and feeling the heavy softness that's almost familiar by now. Then I pass it to Marina, who treats it with her usual reverence. She gently sets it back into the box and then smiles.
We're pretty good at this whole treasure hunting thing, huh?
That we are. I shut the box and nod.
Yeah, we're not bad.
Ooh. Yay, we found the treasure! I'm so happy for us. Even when the box is closed, it radiates a heavy aura, one that's almost intimidating whenever I come near it. I place it in the drawer and seal it away, a sigh of relief following.
2 down, 1 to go.
2 down, 1 to go.
Whoa, there's only one more piece left?
Mm-hmm.
I think so. There's only some experts writing about historical relevance after the next entry.
A miner's journey. Flopping down on the couch next to Marina, I take a sip of my coffee and flip to the final entry of the journal. I'm gonna take a sip of my coffee too. Woo! My coffee has cream and sugar in it, unlike Amber's, where she just drinks it black. I prefer some cream and some sugar. Marina glosses over the page, a hazy look forming in her eyes as she soaks it in.
I can't believe it's almost over.
It is almost over.
Yeah, it's weird that it hasn't even been that long.
That's true. It's only been like a week. The motorhome goes quiet, the buzz of the generator humming in the background.
Well, it's not over yet. We still gotta figure out where it is, and then there's still the search.
True. I think Marina's enthusiasm is becoming infectious. She simply nods, now just gazing into her lap.
Well, let's see what it says.
After several days of travel, I believe I have finally arrived at my first destination. It is well known that I have an astute eye for locations. After all, this is how I found my precious bounty, so it is no mistake that I easily found the perfect hiding place within this valley. I arrived on horseback at the blistering peak of noon. Looking for shelter from the coming night, I began noticing something different, something distinct. Crimson, all of it, shades lighter than pink and darker than blood. The color stained it all, from giant unmovable stones to the tiniest grains of sand. It was as if the land had absorbed the sun's heat and reflected it outwards. Even at sunset, the cave I settled in emanated a bright red glow that sparkled out from its opening. That night, as I laid on the ground watching the flames of my fire shoot up to the cave's roof, I wondered if there were more places like this out in the unsettled land. During my travels on the trail, I was too preoccupied with preparations to observe the world around me, but now I have achieved success. Maybe I shall. It would be a shame if my superb observational skills went to waste. Oh my gosh, this guy. Read every journal entry. I was never certain about the other locations, and considering how many giant rocks, canyons, and arches there are in this country, most of them are probably just a fluke. But this is unmistakable. The vivid and breathtaking imagery, the constant allusions to flames, and most importantly, the heat.
He hid it in the Valley of Fire.
Valley of Fire? I've never heard of that before. Marina snaps back to attention, my conviction pulling her back from Marina Land.
Are you sure?
Positive. There's no other place it could be.
Oh.
She might as well have shut down my momentum with an elephant gun.
Oh, that's all?
What's wrong?
Yep.
No.
Ooh, what's that? A place always on fire?
She narrows her eyes to an unimpressed squint. If they could shoot lasers, they would be right now.
Amber, how dumb do you think I am?
Pretty dumb, girlfriend. Pretty dumb. That's okay. You're pretty, so it'll work out. It'll work itself out.
I didn't say you were...
Always on fire, really?
It is kind of always on fire, though.
Now I feel dumb for saying it.
Aww.
Probably should.
Oh, Marina. Ouch. If her enthusiasm is infectious, and so is my unrelenting realism, it's corrupting her innocence.
By the way, what's the Valley of Fire?
Well, maybe not too infectious. Massaging my scalp, I shake my hair, hopefully creating enough new wrinkles in my brain that will help with explaining this.
Alright, so take a whole bunch of rock, sand, and dirt, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Now make most of it red.
Okay. My explanation is met with a vacant stare.
I swear, it's a lot cooler than I'm making it out to be. It's just kind of hard to explain without pictures.
Oh, that's true.
Don't worry, I believe. Sounds awesome. Where is it anyway?
Where is it?
A little ways into Nevada.
Oh, into Nevada. Okay.
Nevada?
Nevada? She says it. Okay, so Amber says Nevada, and Marina says Nevada. And I wonder which. I watched this on the Game Grumps many, many years ago, but they were like arguing about the pronunciation of Nevada. So I wonder which pronunciation is more correct. Is it Nevada like Amber says it, which is how I say it, or is it Nevada like Marina says it? Her knees bounce, jolting the table.
Are we even old enough to gamble?
That's not all of Nevada is just gambling.
There's more in Nevada than Vegas, dummy.
Thank you, Amber.
Still, isn't that pretty far?
Not super far. You guys are in what, New Mexico right now? Utah? Where are you? I don't remember. You guys were just in Arizona. Oh, you're in Moab. So you're just a little outside of Moab, New Mexico. So that's not like a super far drive. It's like a couple hours, sure. Amber could probably make it faster in her motorhome if she speeds.
That might work to our benefit. I'll need to check the map again. but I think we'll be passing by a place I want to check out.
Ooh. Her voice brightens.
You actually want to go sightseeing?
That's what we were out here for.
Don't act so surprised. It's not like I was gonna make a straight shot for California before I picked you up.
Truth.
Besides, I think you might like it.
Ew. Though she does like virtually everything.
It's a place called Zion.
Oh, Zion National Park.
It's a national park here in Utah. I hear it's a hell of a lot greener than the places we've been through.
Yeah, I want to go there someday. It sounds super cool. Here in Utah. Okay, so we're in Utah right now. So at least we're close.
I know we're in a rush, so we won't stay very long.
She's going to burst from excitement, and I still can't resist messing with her. It's cute.
But I guess if you don't think we can afford the time...
Oh, no sightseeing. I expect her to throw herself at me, hug me, squeeze me with all the energy and happiness she usually does it with. But she doesn't. Sitting perfectly still, Marina takes a single breath and gazes at me with a smile.
I've been surrounded by desert all my life. Seeing green for once would be nice.
Aww.
I'd love to go with you, Amber.
An unsettling hollowness expands in my chest as I realize I don't know how to deal with the serious Marina.
Oh. Alright then.
She doesn't answer. Eyes now closed, arms folded in her lap, the empty, cooperative smile more forced than ever.
Well,
What's wrong?
There's still a lot of hours left in the day. I'm not sure if we'll make it in time to check into the campground, but we'll be close enough that we can do it in the morning if we leave now.
Sounds good. Marina nods. She's very detached all of a sudden. Usually she'd be much more clingy and excited, but she's very detached. And I think it's because she's understanding that the treasure hunt is coming to an end, which means that Amber's not going to be around anymore, which is something that I think she probably doesn't want. I think she really likes our interactions together. So I don't think she wants this treasure hunt to end just yet, but it's getting close to the ending. We scooch out of the booth and walk 10 awkward steps to our seats. Strapping ourselves in, I switch on the ignition and the RV snorting into being. I reach for the cassette player and then look to Marina, already lost in her thoughts as she stares out the window. I don't have the heart. No. I don't have the courage to snap her out of it this time. Sighing, I bring my hand back without pressing play and pull the motorhome into drive. It's too bad, too. I think I'm really starting to like Marina's hugs. Aww. Hours and several cups of coffee later, we've arrived at our destination, or at least close enough to easily check in the morning, yet hidden enough not to get towed. Marina looks to the window, but her eyes drift back over to me, then mine to hers. For one drawn-out second, our eyes are interlocked, petrified by the other's stare. Then time continues. Our heads swing in the other direction, so fast it takes my mind a few moments to catch up. The side of her cheek I can still see is flushed. Glancing in the rearview mirror, I find mine are too. I grip the steering wheel, then cautiously, without turning my head, look back to Marina. She notices, our eyes connect again. Blush, rinse, repeat. The past 4 hours have been excruciating, especially while fighting the urge to throw on music. I wanted to give Marina the space she needed to say what she has to, or give myself the space to blurt out what I need to say. It was just... Again, Marina looks. I jump. We blush. Never the right time. Deciding I've had enough, I hop out of my seat and stretch. Marina follows. I grab my mug from my holder and drag myself across the scratchy carpet to the sink. A small jolt shocks my finger as I reach for the faucet. The mug slips from my hand and crashes onto the counter, splashing coffee everywhere.
Crap.
Aw.
Let me help.
Marina springs over and reaches for a kitchen rag, but I swat down her hand and grab it just as she does.
Don't worry.
Now we're forced to look directly at each other, but there's no blushing this time. I nod and pull the rag as her fingers slide down the fabric.
I got this.
She stares down at the counter, the spilled coffee trickling onto the floor with a steady drip.
Oh.
Without another word, she slouches back to the couch.
If you give me a sec, I can set up the bed.
The bed's metal frame slams down with a loud clank that vibrates underneath my feet, followed by the couch cushion swishing past me, landing on the other side of the motorhome.
For ya.
Aw, she already pulled out the bed. Damn it. Whatever, I'll deal with this in the morning. I toss the rag into the sink and head to my room, hesitating in front of the slider. Please don't let it end like this.
Amber.
There's a pause. Several times I hear small gasps, like she's about to speak, but they all just melt into sighs. What's wrong, Marina?
Good night.
Marina, no! Go back to being bubbly and adorable. I don't like you being all morose and sad.
Night.
Oh, this is so sad. Well, my hands ball into a fist, my fingernails clawing deep into my skin. I step into the room and shut the slider behind me, immediately throwing my face onto the pillow. I can feel my heart pounding as I roll onto my back. Lying there, twisted up in my sheet, it just keeps beating and beating, never settling down. Managing to lift myself up on my elbows, I look at the picture next to the slider. The one with the vinyl sleeve. I still remember how his hand felt against my head, from the bony joints of his fingers to how their calluses massaged my scalp. For such a breezy old man, it's amazing to think how strong and confident his love was. I let my head fall back against the bed and rest my forearm over my face.
Oh man, what am I gonna do, Gramps?
Highway blossoms. A brisk wind curls around me as I step out into a patch of dirt that can barely be called a parking spot and a place that can barely be called a campground. Misty curtains have settled over the nearby hills and mountains, and small specks of leftover morning dew occasionally drip on me from above. Bending down, I drop my backpack and pull on the tongue of my sorta new hiking boots. A little big, but they'll work. Considering that these came from the stash of supplies we borrowed from Mariah in New Mexico, her feet must be freaking huge.
All set?
Yep, hiking boots too? I just thought we got the metal detectors and the shovel. Marina is standing behind me, frowning at her own Velcro strap boots.
Just about. These boots are pretty big, though.
Maybe they're Joe's.
You think so? They feel a bit snug to me.
Sheesh, never mind about Mariah.
Hey, forget about the treasure. Let's just dress you up as Bigfoot and turn you in for a cash reward.
Amber's trying to crack some jokes. The joke is awful and I know it. Still, Marina plays along, sticking her tongue out in a half-playful manner before she forces a tired smile. The whole time, she doesn't make eye contact. So much for lightening the mood. Last night's sudden tension is still present. Even though we try to ignore it or pretend it isn't there, we both know. We both can't look at each other directly, and our conversation feels awkward and stilted. But we pretend everything's normal as we try to put on our best performances and reenact our usual routine.
So, how long is the hike?
The brochure said about 90 minutes each way.
90 minutes?
Might take even longer in this weather.
Yeah, isn't it hot outside?
Oh.
90 minutes each way. That's an hour and a half. That's a long hike. I can feel the gulf between us. It's like yet another canyon, except I don't know how to cross this one.
The picture in the brochure was super pretty. Angel's Landing, right?
Now it's her turn to try to lighten the mood. I hate how we're both too afraid just to address the issue. But I'm as guilty as she is here. I sigh and play along as best I can.
Yeah, it's nice. It's supposed to be the most scenic view in Zion.
That's what Gramps told me anyway. This hike was one of his favorites. Said the view was so lush that there's so many trees and plants that he discovered several new shades of green up there. It was one of the spots that he was most looking forward to visiting with me. I glanced back up at the mountains. The mist doesn't look like it'll clear anytime soon. In fact, it seems to be swallowing up more of the landscape. It's got Marina's attention too. She stares up as if she's picking out specific details in the fog. While she's distracted, I let my gaze rove over her again, guiltily, like I'm sneaking glances, but I don't care. Admiring the sweep of her shoulders down to her collarbone, the rest of the curves of her body, I let myself examine her like I did when we first met, and like I've been consciously abstaining from, looking her over like she doesn't matter if she catches me anymore. She doesn't, though. I may as well be invisible to her right now while she studies the mountaintops. And I want her to pay attention to me. She's wearing her usual boutique brand clothes. Their cute frilliness is just as perfect as ever for Marina, but they clash with the clunkiness of the ugly brown boots.
You sure you want to wear that? They might just get in the way.
She doesn't have any other clothes, does she? She gasps, almost offended by the suggestion that she would wear anything else.
But my skirt is so comfy. Aren't you supposed to wear comfy clothes on hikes?
I suppose, but I don't think anyone would go around in a skirt like that.
Besides, with a name like Angel's Landing, it has to be pretty relaxing.
True, but the hike itself is going to be rough. She gives me a big, honest smile, tipping her head to the hills. It's the first real smile I've seen from her all day.
So, what are we waiting for? Let's go.
Alright. I melt, letting her skewed reasoning fall to the wayside just this once. Not just this one time. We've done this many, many times. You're always giving in to Marina. Warm fuzzies and a goofy grin take over my dour mood just for a moment.
Alright, but no whining if they end up being a problem.
Slinging the backpack over my shoulder, we head for the shuttle that leads to the trail. Logs and a stone fire pit adorn the side of each lot that we pass. When we get back, we'll go to the camp store and pick up some supplies to roast marshmallows. I think she'd like that. Now we're planning things to do just so that Marina likes it. That's interesting. Marina's heavy breathing guides me as we slog our way uphill, the previous light mist having now morphed into a thick and dreary fog. I cling to the chained rail as I stumble my way up the trail of rocks. It's the only protection from the sheer drop-off beside us. All it would take is one slip for me to take a nosedive into the valley below, and I wouldn't even see it coming. Turns out the fluffy and enticing name Angel's Landing doesn't come with the relaxing stroll Marina was hoping for. This feels more like a ghastly death merge. My sweat-drenched legs feel like pudding under the anchor that is measly a 5-pound backpack. No one else on the shuttle even bothered to attempt the hike alongside us. I attempt to form words between pained breaths, feeling like a rock is being smashed into my lungs with each step. I know, Laika, they're going on a big hike. Just let them be.
We should turn back.
Turn back? No way.
Can't see Jack.
You don't need to see Jack anyways.
It's not safe up here.
Oh, man, the panting that she put in is really good. The voice actress, it's really good.
What?
She sounds like she's doing about as well as me, echoing the same lung-puncturing gasps.
But we're so close.
We are so close.
There's no way we're not almost there.
We stop, collapsing against our knees as we try to catch our breath.
Not gonna mean a lot if we end up falling off a cliff.
I thought you were the one who wanted to do this so bad.
Every couple of words are punctuated by her gasping for breath.
Yeah, but...
Amber, please.
Please
Let's
what?
keep going.
Okay. Her voice is a whimper, fragile and meek. I fold, as you always do.
Okay.
Marina has a way of making me shut up when she wants to, whether she knows it or not. Today, it doesn't make a difference. I'm not going to be the one who makes things worse. She's wrong about one thing, though. I wasn't the one who wanted to hike up here. Gramps was. It gets easier after our break. The trail begins to plateau and the steepness evens out, fading behind us until the return trip.
Whew, I think we're already here. See? What did I tell you?
You still got like a whole half hour to go. I'm just kidding. That'd be hilarious. Marina darts ahead, disappearing into the fog so she can look at the mythical view that the brochure and I have preached to her and Gramps to me. But if my suspicions are right, this weather and the view aren't going to be very compatible. Following behind, I step out to the cloudy murk and into an area that offers only slightly more visibility. Ooh, that's cool though. Look at how misty it is. Marina stands on the center of the cliff, her hand clutched to her heart. What should have been a bird's eye view of Zion is nothing but a sea of fog. The lush greenery and full valleys are invisible. Only a few overgrown bushes and some pointy rocks peek out above the clouds. I was expecting it, but the sight itself is really numbing. The hollowness in my stomach, the one I've gotten so used to feeling, rears its ugly head once again, only intensified by Marina's silence, any expression shrouded by her bangs as she tilts her head down.
Sorry.
Oh, bad view. Gently, she shakes her head.
Don't worry about it. It's not your fault. You tried to warn me.
Marina.
But I don't know what to say. I'm disappointed too. There were a lot of places Gramps always talked about visiting. After we settle down and kick back for a few years, after I finish repairing the RV, after I get better. This place came up more than others though. Not just Zion, but the landing. He kept saying we were going to hike up here, have a picnic, maybe watch the sun come up. A slight smile comes to my face as I think about him trying to make that hike. I'd have liked to see that geezer try. Well, I'm not big enough sap to try and make all my and granddad's Well, I'm not a big enough sap to try and make all of my and Gramps' plans happen now. It would have been nice to see the view. With Gramps, Marina, and everything that's happened over the past month, it just seemed fitting to make the trip. Angel's Landing. I glanced back to Marina, the hand that was clutched to her chest now stretched outwards, grasping at the empty air. A slight breeze blows through, ruffling her hair. She looks beautiful. She looks angelic. I didn't go to church much as a kid, but she looks like someone I'd see on a stained glass window, right next to the rendition of Cavalry or Skull Hill. It's frustrating to have come this far for nothing. But is it because of the fog? Because of Gramps? Or because of Marina? My teeth grit, grinding against each other under what feels like an unimaginable weight.
Come on, let's go.
I turn around and begin down the slope. There's nothing else worth seeing up here. Marina doesn't follow, no spirited footsteps trailing behind me, no speeding bullet blazing ahead.
Marina, we're going.
It comes out with more bite than I intended, but I don't care. I just want to get out of here now. Marina is hesitant to answer, but eventually manages to spit it out, sounding more like a question than an actual statement.
I don't want to.
I don't want to?
What?
What?
I don't want to leave. Not yet, anyway.
Annoyed, I turn back to her for an explanation, only to be greeted by a pleading look instead.
I'm used to it by now. I know I am. But do you think we could wait a little longer? Just to see if the fog clears?
I don't know what it is. I respond with a blank stare. It's like she's not even talking to me.
Don't be stupid.
Oh, Amber. I start back down the hill, not bothering to wait for Marina this time.
It's past noon. If it hasn't cleared by now, then it's not going to anytime soon.
So much for not making things worse. Yeah, I know, Amber, you're really sticking your foot in your mouth with this one. I still think the view looks pretty freaking awesome. Oh, look at the stars. It's so pretty. How could you not like that covered in fog? I know it's like, it's disappointing that you don't get to see like the rest of the view, but the fog is still a really cool thing to see if you're not growing up around a lot of fog. I nudge the fire with the stick. It doesn't do any good though, as the logs just tumble on top of each other, smothering the already pitiful flame. For a moment, our lot is only lit by a few remaining embers in the pit. Sighing, I grab a bottle of lighter fluid and squirt it onto the ashes. An artificial flame roars into existence and peters to the side of a pathetic candle flicker just as quickly. I plunge the stick back into the fire and scrape cinders from the glowing wood. Eventually, a flame catches on a charred log and grows until the pit is blazing once again.
Aha! About damn time.
There you go. Manipulate that fire. The joy is exclusive to me, however, as Marina stays silent, staring into the fire.
Want another s'more?
She bounces back to life.
Oh my god, yes, please.
She catches herself and switches back to broodiness.
I mean, sure, I guess.
Marina, what's wrong? I roll my eyes, but I can't help smiling on the inside. No matter how hard she tries, she's still the same Marina she's always been. I grab a marshmallow and stick it on the end of a bent coat hanger before handing it to her. Without another word, she plops it into the fire. Meanwhile, my eyes are drawn to the neglected bag of hot dogs lying behind the chocolate and graham crackers, unopened and ignored. I bought them because I thought Marina would like the variety, but I should have known that she would only go after the marshmallows. She's been devouring them. She opened the bag when we left the store and it was half empty by the time we got back to the campsite. She clung to the bag like a security blanket the whole way. It's a miracle there are even any left. Shrugging, I take one of the hot dogs out of the bag and impale it on my coat hanger and then put it in the fire next to Marina's. Even when we're this close to each other, there's still an air of tension. The one that's pervaded since we left Arches. Neither of us have addressed it, but the inevitability of the treasure, the thick uneasiness that hangs over us, it's suppressed, but it's definitely there. It's gotten better since we left Angel's Landing. The snacks were a peace offering of sorts, I guess. Although I was pleasantly surprised that she sat so close to me, even with 3 other logs in the fire pit, around the fire pit. I fix my gaze on the flames. The dog is slimy, oozing with condensation that drips and sizzles in the ashes.
Oh god, it's on fire! It's on fire! Fire! Fire!
Marina, calm down, there's just a marshmallow. Marina's coat hanger whooshes over me like a spastic comet. The marshmallow now a smoldering ball of inferno.
Here, give it to me.
But it's on fire, Amber! Fire!
Just blow it out, it's fine. Have you never made s'mores before?
I can see that. Just give it.
She panics, squirming as her precious marshmallow burns before her very eyes.
Alright, just don't hurt yourself, please.
Frantically, she passes me the wire, biting her nails as I try to blow it out. Soon the fire clears. The marshmallow, once white and fluffy, is now charred and black.
Aw, now it's ruined.
On the contrary, it is the best state it's ever been.
It's no big deal. You can still eat it.
Preparing the s'more, I break apart the chocolate and the cracker and then squish the marshmallow between them.
Ew, gross. But it's all black and stuff.
It's fine, it's just burnt sugar.
Hey, don't knock it till you try it. Honestly, I think I might prefer it burned.
Thank you, Amber, thank you. Finally, someone with a little bit of sense.
That's so... ew.
She gives a nervous laugh.
Here, just try it.
Just try it. Marina stares at the s'more and gulps.
Fine, but only because you asked.
Closing her eyes, she opens her mouth wide. Wide open. This time it's my turn to gulp. I shuffle back. Subtly trying to avoid eye contact and once again failing, I pop the s'more into her mouth and let out a restful sigh. Like bubblegum, she munches on it in the corner of her mouth, intently trying to dissect the flavor in her own cute way.
So...
Her eyes grow wide in shock.
It's good.
Told you.
right? Doesn't it give it a nice smoky flavor?
Mm-hmm. It's a little bitter at first, but the marshmallow gets really crunchy. So good.
I told you so. You just gotta give these things a shot.
I can't believe I had my first s'more and found a way to make it better in the same day. I feel like that would take most people like a bajillion years to figure out.
Not a bajillion years, but...
But it only took me one night because I got you, Amber.
Aww. Gobsmacked? Dumbfounded? They're both stupid fancy words, but I think they work when trying to figure out this thing sitting next to me.
Amber?
You're kidding me.
What?
Your first s'more?
That's what I was gonna say. Her first s'more?
Well, I've seen people eat them on TV and stuff before, but...
You have never ever had a s'more in your entire life.
Oh my gosh.
Now that I think about it, I guess I haven't.
That's so sad.
That confirms it.
Huh? Confirms what?
You're an alien. The government has just been keeping you hidden all this time. That's why I met you near Roswell. It's the only explanation.
That's cute. Maybe Marina is an alien.
I am not. If I were an alien, then why do I look human?
You could just be deceiving us.
That's just a flesh suit. A disguise so you can blend in.
Feels like we're telling scary stories by the fire.
That's mean. You can't just buy these good looks at the costume store.
There you go, Marina. Know your self-worth.
What's your sector ID? Is this your first time away from your home planet?
Amber, stop. It's not my fault.
Her face puffs out and I have the resist the urge to poke and deflate it. If I don't quit, she may actually start pouting.
I'm sorry, I'll stop.
I'm tempted to squeeze one more joke out, but decided against it as I tried to hold back the snicker under my breath.
I think I like you better when you're serious.
She crosses her arms, turning away as she closes both eyes to block me out. Then, with a grin, one eye open. We both burst out laughing. Since the hike, the fog has climbed down the hill, enveloping the campground. Even here, it's carved out a small pocket, the breezy chill surrounding us as we take in the warm glow of the fire. Feels nice.
But for real, I still can't believe this is your first time leaving home.
She settles down a bit and places her hands in her lap, teetering side to side as she looks at the sky, even though there's nothing to look at but mist. There's a beautiful night sky above you. I don't know what you're talking about, Amber.
Yeah, sometimes I have trouble believing it too. Since there's so many of us, I guess Mom and Dad could never afford to take us anywhere.
Yeah, you got a big family. That's what I thought. If her family is as big as she says, it's not like they could have just packed up and traveled like me and Gramps.
You said you have 9 brothers and sisters, right?
Yep, there's 9 of us, plus Mom and Dad, so 11 altogether.
Damn.
Jesus.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Right? Everyone says our house is pretty big, but it's always been so cramped that I've never been able to tell. I've never even had my own room. I've always had to share one with some of my sisters. My older brother shared too, until one of them went off to college.
Is that the same brother whose car got torn apart by Mariah?
She laughs guiltily.
Yeah, he always called it his love wagon.
Oh no.
If that thing was a love wagon, then my motorhome is a love palace.
There you go.
Ooh, that's a good name for it.
No, it's not. That's a horrible name for it. Don't call it that. Don't call it the Love Palace. That just... no.
Don't even start.
Thank you, Amber.
Anyway, he said he wanted to get a new one when he got to Salt Lake City, so I don't think he'll be too angry.
Hold on. That's in Utah too. Why didn't you tell me? The detour would have been a pain in the ass. But if you wanted to visit him, I wouldn't have minded the extra miles. Not if it was for you.
Aww. Marina does a double take and I realize I've given too much away.
You'd have to pay for gas though.
Quick. Marina blinks and smiles. Crisis averted.
Nah, it's okay. I want to do this without my family's help. Besides, it's only a community college.
Yeah, but it's all the way in Utah.
Your brother moved from New Mexico to Utah so he could attend a community college?
That's what I was gonna say.
Uh-huh. He sends me a gift every month. Last month, it was a top hat. I put it right on top of the desk in my room.
That's cute. She pauses for a moment.
Mine and my sister's room, I mean.
Aw.
Your family sounds about as weird as you.
Really? Huh.
Huh.
Yeah, I guess we are.
She beams, wearing the title of weird like a badge of honor.
That's not a good thing. Actually, maybe it is.
I like it. Besides, Dad keeps us all in line. He's a defense lawyer, super straight-laced.
Ooh.
You remind me of him, actually. He likes everything nice and orderly, which is bad for him because he's surrounded by us, but...
She talks for a long time, chattering and laughing about her family, the smile never leaving her face. I almost get lost in it. I almost want to. For the precious minutes that she speaks, I forget the tension that shadowed us since Arches, and I could believe it was never there. I love that about Marina. Even when we're wet in the rain, or humoring truck drivers, or racing a lunatic down the highway, she never hesitates to smile. For her, it's always poised on the brim, waiting to shine through. I could listen all night, but she trails off only a short time later.
I'm sorry. This must be boring, right?
I don't
Nah, I can tell you love him a lot.
know. Aw.
It was always just me and Gramps. So it's sort of interesting to see how other families work.
Truth. Hey, Meow. How's it going? What's going on? Not much. We're playing Highway Blossoms. Glad you could join us. I'm doing pretty good. Got myself a coffee. Just playing Visual Novel Friday. How are you doing? The lot falls silent, save for crackling flames. I brace myself for what I know is coming.
Hey, Amber? What happened to your mom and dad?
Oh, seriousness. I stare into the fire. It pops, casting up delicate embers that fall and vanish in the dirt.
I'm sorry. That was too personal.
I don't know about that. You guys have been together for like a week now. She might as well tell you.
No, it's fine. They're both around, I think. Only met Dad once a long time ago.
Damn.
Me and Ma don't get along very well. Haven't spoken to her since I was 16. Last I heard, she was living in some trailer park in Ohio.
Is that why you lived with your grandpa?
Sorta. Ma always had her issues. So the court said Gramps could take care of me when I was a baby.
I stifle a laugh.
Not that it did any good. The geezer had the bright idea to haul me around the Midwest and East Coast for half my life.
He took care of you all by himself? He must have been amazing.
Try again. He was an old hippie who was stuck in the 70s and spent most of his time listening to weird music.
That sounds a lot like you, though, Amber. You're just kind of this old hippie who's stuck in the 90s and spends most of your time listening to weird music.
Sounds just like you.
See, even Marina agrees with me.
Hey, watch it. If anything, he was more like you. I was always cleaning up his messes, even as a little girl, even near the...
Near the what? I choked down a growing lump in my throat.
Even near the end.
Aw, that's sad.
Amber,
It's okay, it's okay. What do you have to do in this game? It's pretty much just it's a visual novel, so we're just watching these characters and clicking along through their dialogue. Typically, most visual novels have like choices that you can make, but I don't think that this is one of those types of games. I think it's more of just to sit through and read the story kind of thing. It's more of like an experience than rather like true visual novel, but yeah, it's pretty good. Hope you join along with us.
It was always just the two of us, though. Us or any random old friend he wanted to see. Even when he decided to settle down in Colorado, it was just us. People would come and go, but it was always us.
Aww.
And I was there for all of it. I was there for every single appointment. I was there at the hospital, and I was there at the funeral.
Yeah, we're getting into a really serious moment right now, but about like 10 minutes ago, we uncovered some buried treasure, and that's what the whole game is about, is going on this big road trip to find some buried treasure. What type of games do I like? I love visual novels. I can't get enough of them. That's why I started Visual Novel Friday. I've also been playing Grim Fandango as part of spooky season, and we play Okami on Thursdays. So if you're interested, go check out the VODs channel, youtube.com/@princessevillanvods, EVILLAN, and you can find my channel and search through all the games that we've been playing. We've played quite a few so far.
Ma didn't even bother to come to that, but I was there.
Damn.
And he was always there, too.
Aww.
You really miss him, huh?
My voice lowers to a whisper, raspy and dry.
Yeah.
Aww. What a sweet moment. Something thumps against my shoulder. Glancing down, I discover Marina's head resting against me.
What are you doing?
Nothing.
Cuddling. We're just cuddling.
Ah.
She looks up at me.
Want me to stop?
Oh, tell her no. Tell her just pull her head into your shoulder and just right there.
Nah, keep doing it.
Aw.
Okay.
We should turn in soon. We have a big day ahead of us.
Yeah, maybe.
We sit in silence for a little while, or maybe it's a long time. I can't tell the difference. It's a nice silence, though. A comfortable one. Better than the awkwardness that you guys had earlier. Finally. Oh, thanks. I appreciate that, Meow. Yeah, definitely share the link. Let other people know. Share the YouTube channel. The YouTube channel is pretty empty right now. I got, like, I think 3 subscribers, and one of them is me. So, yeah. Thanks for joining the dream today. Thanks for joining us in the stream. The engine dies. I can hear power buzzing. Oh goodness. I can still hear the power buzzing before it surges down, leaving us with the ambience of the settling motorhome.
We're here.
Not a lot of cars here, huh?
Probably not.
Guess
Probably
the rest
hot.
of the world just hasn't caught up yet.
Yeah, there were a lot of people at the last few places that we were at, but the last one that we were at, it was mostly because it was at a national park. So not a lot of them were treasure hunters. That won't last for long. Any day now, people will figure out it's here, and an army of would-be treasure hunters will be swarming this place, drooling at the chance to find gold. Oh, thanks. I appreciate that about my model. Yeah, I worked really hard on it. I drew it myself. The last of the gold. There's a fluttering in my chest, and I tighten my grip on the wheel. I did make my model all by myself. I made my profile picture and my model by myself. The only thing that I bought was the background that I'm using right now and the overlays and stuff like that. But everything else was drawn by me.
I bet our names have spread across the land and struck fear into the hearts of our rivals, giving them no other choice but to call it quits.
I think our only rival is Mariah.
Yeah. Or maybe someone already came through and found the treasure.
I'm not really an artist, no. I just doodle every now and then, but I did work really hard on the model that I made and the pictures that I made for the profile picture, so I wouldn't necessarily call myself an artist, though. Just a little handy with digital drawing.
What? Don't say something scary like that.
Still wrapped around the wheel, my clammy hands start shaking. Marina takes notice, looking over with sympathetic eyes.
Hey.
She takes her hand and gently places it on top of mine, giving it a reassuring squeeze. I let both fall into my lap. She's warm.
We're doing this together, okay?
Aww. The flutters tickle inside of my chest until I can't help but smile.
Right. Let's do it.
Do it! Regretfully, I force out a nod to pull my hand out from Marina's. It feels wrong, like throwing away a precious gift. Reaching into the console, I retrieve the journal for what may be the last time. It's well loved, a bent spine, wrinkled pages, and folded corners on the flimsy paper cover. Looking back, it's been getting roughed up since the moment we got it. Ever since that weird station attendant let Marina have it for free way back at the Traveler's store. Hard to believe this cheap thing was a roadmap to something so valuable. Sure, what's your question, Meow? Taking a deep breath, I skim over the final entry. After several days of travel, I believe I have finally arrived at my first destination. Oh, we already read this part. I'll read it again just in case. It is well known that I have an astute eye for locations. After all, this is how I found my precious bounty, so it is no mistake that I easily found the perfect hiding place within the valley. I arrived on horseback at the blistering peak of noon. Looking for shelter from the coming night, I began noticing something different, something distinct. Why don't I decorate my channel? I'm still a newbie amateur streamer, so I don't know quite how to decorate my channel all nice and pretty like all the other streamers do. I just haven't put in a lot of time into figuring that out, so that's why it's not like super decorated. But yeah. Crimson, all of it. Shades lighter than pink and darker than blood. The color stained it all. From giant unmovable stones to the tiniest grains of sand. It was as if the land had absorbed the sun's heat and reflected it outwards. Even at sunset, the cave I settled in emanated a bright red glow that speckled out from its opening. That night, as I laid on the ground watching the fires shoot up my cave's roof, I wondered if there were more places like this out on the unsettled land. During my travels on the trail, I was too preoccupied with preparations to observe the world around me, but now that I have achieved success, maybe I shall. It would be a shame if my superb observational skills went to waste.
Windstone Arch.
Windstone Arch. It's probably the vaguest entry so far, but I can feel it. It has to be there. I slap the journal shut and lay it to rest in the center console, right next to all the cassette tapes. Marina and I looked at each other, now sharing the same piercing determination.
All right, let's get this show on the road.
Because of the lack of crowds, getting around is a lot easier than usual, allowing us to take in the scenery for once instead of slogging through zombified hordes. Even though there are not many people around, it somehow feels fuller here. Everywhere we walk, we're surrounded by layered dunes and sandstones towering over us, striped with painted reds and calico browns. Somehow, we do manage to find the Windstone Arch. Unlike the arches back in Utah, it isn't big and majestic. It's not an upside-down horseshoe that lords over us as we look out in awe. It's not even an arch as much as it is a cave, really. Just a jagged, overgrown rock with a few crevices big enough for a person to enter. Still, despite the fact that it doesn't compare to the size and grandeur of everything else we've seen together so far, and despite that it hardly took us any time to find it at all, it's still imposing. The longer I stare at it, the bigger it gets, and like it's judging us. It isn't calling into question our abilities or even if we can find it. It's gauging us to see if we're ready. Are we? I look over to Marina. A small bulge forms in her throat before she swallows it back down. Is she? I return to my gaze to the arch, asking the same questions over and over in my mind. Oh, that's really cool, Meow. I'm playing a special visual novel for Halloween this year, so join us on Halloween for a spooky visual novel. It's not really spooky, it's more of like a romance visual novel, but it's got some spooky characters in it. Finally, we look to each other. Marina readies the metal detector strapped to her back and gives me a nod, which I return. Even if we aren't ready, even if this is the worst mistake of my life, this is something both of us have to do. Our steps in sync, we march over the rocks and desert shrubs before crouching into the cavern. I'm good, Meow. Don't worry about that. Just have fun and enjoy the stream. Sunlight squeezes into the cave, dyeing the rock columns neon red. Marina begins scanning with the metal detector, listening intently for a beep. The narrow space forces us to huddle together as we heave our way through the arch, repeatedly brushing against each other. At first it's accidental, but I find myself craving it more. To get closer. To feel her. To watch as her hair absorbs the brilliant glow of the cave. I'm deprived of all of that, though, as her metal detector vibrates in her hand, making a low rumble. She takes off her headphones and points to the wall.
There.
I avert my gaze and move past her, taking a knee as I slip the bag off my shoulder and pull out a mandrel pickaxe. Careful not to hit her, I start chiseling away at the rock. Soon the crack in the wall grows and small pebbles and gravel start flying off. I reposition myself and block Marina from getting hit by any of it. Yeah, I'll get around to decorating the stream, just not today. Maybe this weekend I'll look at it, but for now, just enjoy the stream as it is. You got a cute model to look at. My voice is pretty cute, some people say. I don't know. But we're playing a cute visual novel, so let's focus on that. The small portion of the wall crumbles away after a few more strikes, reveals a hollow space, just big enough to squeeze your hand into. This is gonna suck if some creepy thing's gone and made its home in there. Oh, that's what I'd be thinking. Shuddering, I reach into the space and feel something square and wooden. With some budging, it comes free and easily slides out. A box. Its familiarity is expected, but it doesn't stop my heart from leaping any less, nor Marina's, who squeaks out a gasp.
Ready?
This time she barely nods, unsure of what to say, but like ripping off a bandage, I swing the lid open before she can give any real answer. Nuggets, a pile of them, filled from top to bottom, all misshapen and morphed. The sight isn't anything new, but this time feels different. It's like for the first time, the reality has finally sunk in and everything up until now has been a haze. We both just stare at it, an entire universe of thoughts racing through my mind, yet it all comes up blank.
What now?
Now you go turn in that gold and you get some money. It's directed more towards myself than Marina, but it's the first thing I manage to spit out, and ultimately the most important. Marina doesn't answer at first, instead just tilting her head, trying to process the question. But finally she gives a simple smile.
I saw a sign for a trail on the way over here. Why don't we go hiking?
Hey, that sounds fun. Hiking? I freeze for a second and then laugh under my breath. The more I think about the simplicity behind her words, the more I laugh, until I border on sounding like a hysterical madman.
Hiking? For real?
I keep laughing, struggling to keep it together, even after I start having trouble breathing. Poor Marina isn't in on the joke, though, and with the matter of seconds, her face goes from confusion to concern, then pouting.
I don't know why you're laughing. I was being serious, you know?
You seriously want to go hiking, Marina, just after finding some gold? Settling down, I wipe a fake tear from my eye, an occasional chuckle still managing to break through.
No, I know you were.
I knew you were
And
serious.
what's so funny?
Nothing, just...
That's just so you, Marina. I finally regain complete composure and smile at her.
Yeah, sure. Let's go hiking. That sounds nice.
Aw. Adorable.
Can you please keep to the signs?
I will. Stop being such a worrywart.
Marina skips through the sand, gleefully oblivious that her trail is a badly marked patch of dirt over the plains of the Mojave.
That's what you said last time. If you're not careful, we're gonna get lost. Again.
Again.
Aw, you didn't like those old cabins we found?
It gets old after the second time, Mare.
It kills daylight, too. The sun has faded to orange, and soon will sink out of view. There's no way we're getting back before dark. But hey, maybe that's not such a bad thing. We've already found the treasure, so spending some time with Marina is a nice reward.
So, about this fire wave thing. And yes, I know it's not an ocean of lava, smarty pants.
Damn, I must be running out of material.
I mean, it's so cool. Well, it's hot, I guess. But what is it?
Isn't it like clay or something like that? Isn't that why it's all red?
What's the fire wave? It's a, windy thing that winds around rocks and stuff and looks like fire.
What the fuck are you talking about, Amber?
At least, I think that's what it was.
That doesn't sound right. What?
Oh?
A devilish grin slinks onto Marina's face, and she attaches it herself to me like Velcro, nudging my shoulders.
You don't know what it is either, do you?
I think you caught me, Marina.
What? Do so.
Her grin grows until I force myself to look away. She's not gonna get the satisfaction.
I've seen pictures.
Oh yeah?
Oh, you've seen pictures? What sort of pictures?
How do you see pictures that explain a windy thing that shoots fire in the middle of the valley?
You know, the picture-y kind.
I can just feel her reveling in this. For the first time, she's got me playing right into her hands.
Oh, shut up.
I feel it slap against my wrist, then a tug. Looking down, I see Marina's bright dimples shining through her round cheeks.
Why don't we find out together?
I'm stunned. It's a position we've been in before, but it's supposed to be the other way around. I'm always pulling her. That's my job. But now, it's her smooth fingers locked around my wrist, her fingernails grazing above my skin. The realization doesn't even have time to sink in before she propels herself forward, with me in tow.
Hey, wait! Hold on!
I kick up sand and grit as I'm practically dragged along by Marina, who meets my yelps with silence. Then she halts as quickly as she took off, leaving me to shoot forward and stumble to a stop.
You could have at least warned me before ya...
What? I go silent. Marina does too. The fire wave. Swirling ribbons of red wrap around the hillside and stretch out to the horizon. The setting sun casts light and shadow across the ground and sky, shading it all with intense golds, pinks, and purples. As the sky dims, a shred of stray light passes over the shade and shines directly on us. Directly on Marina. She stares on, silent. I can feel every glint of emotion coming from her. Every breath taken away. Every raw feeling that builds up inside her, only to be choked back down. All of it. I glance between her and the scene stretched out before us. The pocket of sky with their deep, vivid colors are beautiful, but the choice is easy. I fixate on Marina. Her clear, sweet blue eyes. Her cute, round cheeks. Her lips as they quiver ever so slightly. Laying a hand on her shoulder, I turn her towards me and softly touch her cheek. Her mouth slips open with a faint gasp, but all it takes is a gentle stroke of her face for that uncertainty to be wiped away. Marina holds my gaze. My eyes relax and I step closer so I can feel the warmth of her body against mine. Is this where we're gonna kiss her? Then I lean in and press my lips to hers. Ah, how cute! Finally! Aw, so soft. I keep myself pressed against her, letting my lips move with the natural flow. But she doesn't press back. Afraid, I pull away, but before I can step back, she pulls me closer and lets her lips melt into mine. I let the pattern take control, our mouths move inside of each other, full of tender caution as we ease in. We repeat the process infinitely, bathed in the light of the sunset, the two of us exchanging something. I eventually pull back, unsure of what to say and scared of what I could. We turn back to find the last rays of sunlight slipping behind the sand. Something brushes against my hand, tickling for a moment before intertwining to my fingers. Her grip is loose, but I wrap my hands around so I'm holding her firmly. We watch the last of the light drift into the peaceful evening. Together.
It's pretty.
Yeah.
How nice. We finally got to kiss Marina. Woohoo. Such a beautiful sunset to end that on, too. How nice. Alright, now what? Oh god, why? What have I done? Her back is turned to me like mine is to hers. I claw my nails deeper into the scratchy couch fabric and stick my gaze on the floor. Please end me now. It was silent after we did that. Nice silence, a blissful release of silence. But as we walked back, terror started to sink in. I think she felt it too. I listened to the buzz of the generator and stared at a patch of artificial light on the wall. Stupid little box is making fun of me, I swear.
So, what now?
That's true, what now? Funny, that's the same thing I asked when we found the treasure, except she sounds even more hopeless and confused than I did. I'm not ignoring you, Mal, I don't mean to. Sorry about that. Hey, bird, how's it going? Did you come in time to see the kiss? It was sweet, it was adorable. We kissed in the sunset, and the fire lit up behind us with all the rays of light and the clay on the ground. It was beautiful. Just so worth it. I'm so glad you didn't miss that big moment. Yay, that makes me so happy. Bringing my legs to my chest, I bundle my arms around them and put on a nervous smirk. Anyways,
We
meow,
could
yeah.
always go hiking again.
Anyways, meow, yeah, I'll check out your stuff. She throws a mock slap at my shoulder, feigning a huffy voice.
You would like that, wouldn't you?
The heavy embarrassment in the air melts away into something a little more comfortable as we both manage to laugh at my perviness. What is it, Marina? Marina lets out a whiny cry and slides against the couch.
But seriously, what are we gonna do?
About what?
About everything.
About everything.
The treasure, home, us.
Aww. I don't really have a Discord, but if you go to my linktree, linktree/princessevillan, EVILLAN, you can find like personal, or not personal, business email where you can like send your stuff and links and stuff so that I can look at them. But yeah, I don't really have a Discord. I just have whatever on my Linktree. My heart tightens like she's squeezing it.
Did you not?
Oh, did you not like it?
No, I did.
Oh, okay. Awkward.
I do. I just don't know.
Don't know what. She turns to me, her eyes pleading like she's looking for answers. There's no doubt I'm responsible for those eyes. Feeling a fierce sense of responsibility, I shoot up and march to the center console.
Amber?
Hold on.
I open the console, but don't bother digging around. I know exactly where these are. Ooh, 2 irreplaceable pieces of paper. Marina's thoughts updated. Stopping in front of the couch, my voice darkens.
I'll be using my half of the treasure to pay for Gramps' hospital and funeral expenses.
Okay.
But before I do that, I still need to go to the music festival.
You gonna come with us, Marina? I offer her one of the tickets. Unsure, she gently tugs it from my hand and begins reading.
If you want to, you can go with me. Might give you a little extra time to think about things.
Hey, and you get to go to California. My voice softens.
About everything.
The festival?
Mm-hmm.
Me?
Up to you, babe.
Aw. I flop back on the couch and hold the ticket over my eyes to block out the light.
Oh?
Oh crap. She peels the ticket off halfway and peeks through, revealing an amused grin.
So I'm babe now, huh?
So I'm babe now, huh? I love that. I didn't know she would catch that. I thought it was just gonna fly under the radar, but she totally is calling her out for it. On her hands and knees, Marina crawls ever so closer while I scramble to turn and hide my face.
Shut up. It was an accident.
I don't think it was an accident. And now I'm back to where I started, mortified and embarrassed.
Amber?
Her voice is like a melody.
Shut up.
Amber.
I said shut up.
Oh, Amber.
What?
A tank engine plows into my back, followed by soft, gentle arms wrapping around my neck as she rests her head against mine.
Thank you.
Aw, that's sweet. My shoulders relax, embracing her. In turn, I rest my head on hers too, a head sandwich.
Sure thing, kiddo.
Beats an idiot sandwich. Amber likes to use pet names. Once we're quiet, the awkwardness sets in again, where I don't know if I should be saying something or to fill the silence or if I should just leave it be. Is she thinking the same thing? Is she also worried? I sneak glance after worried glance down, but I can't see her face. Alright, cool, thanks, Mal. I appreciate that. Her hands wander around like she doesn't know what to do. She touches her face, then scratches her leg, picks at a fold in her shirt, pops her knuckles. Sounds like me. So she is nervous. Maybe she's ADHD, I don't know.
Hey.
The top of her head bumps into my chin as she flinches.
Hey.
You good?
Yeah.
You don't seem good.
Hey, you've been, like, really distant lately.
No, I am sorry. I'm just...
Worried about going home? Rather than hurry her along like I sometimes do, I wait for her to find the words.
just worried, I guess. I've, I know you have, but I've never had a girlfriend before.
Oh, how do you know that we've had a girlfriend? You don't know that. Maybe this is our first time too. I start to say something, but she hurriedly cuts me off.
I don't mean it like that. Well, I do, but I've also never had a boyfriend before. Not a real one, anyway.
You had a fake boyfriend, though?
That's what I was gonna say.
Barely. Like, in middle school, there was this guy who asked if I'd be his girlfriend, and I said okay. But then the next day, he said his mom told him he wasn't allowed to have a girlfriend, so we broke up.
That was a short-lived relationship then.
Sounds brutal.
Right?
You guys are just in middle school though, calm down.
And then junior year of high school, I kind of dated this guy for like a month, but I didn't really like him. My friends just wanted me to.
Sounds like douchey friends.
That's screwed up.
That is screwed up.
I don't know, not really. They weren't trying to be mean or anything, and he wasn't a bad person. He was just boring.
Boring?
Like, for our first date, we went to dinner and a movie. But dinner was just fast food, and he spilled ketchup all over himself.
Ouch. That's a shitty first date.
And I don't even remember what movie we saw. He put his arm around the back of my chair, and I thought he was trying to put his arm around me, so I kind of got closer, but nope. He just kept it there.
Maybe he was nervous, Marina.
Like he was just stretching.
She giggles at the memory.
Honestly, I'd forgotten about all that until now. That's how not a real boyfriend he was. What about you?
I want us to prove Marina wrong, and I want us to say that Marina would be our first girlfriend, because I think that would be really fun to have both of them coming at this from like a new perspective for both of them. I don't know why Marina thinks that we've had girlfriends before. Like, does she just think we're that cool? But I'm interested to see what's going on with Amber. I don't think she's had many dates either. She seems a little too bitter for most people. I'm glad that right now things seem normal. Maybe if she's talking, she forgets about being worried.
Well, I've never had a boyfriend.
There you go. Marina punches me in the shoulder.
You know what I meant. I could have guessed that much.
No, you don't know. You don't know. We could be bi. You don't know.
Hey now, I'm just being clear. But yeah, I've had other girlfriends.
Okay. So we're seasoned. Is it bad manners to talk about this? Especially early in a relationship? You guys aren't really that early in a relationship anyways. You guys, yes, you did just have your first kiss and whatever, but you guys have been traveling together in close quarters for like a week now. That's not really early in the relationship. She asked though.
They counted, though it wasn't really anything serious either. By the time I was old enough for a serious relationship, I was too busy with taking care of Gramps to focus on one. But at least no one's mom ever told them they had to break up with me.
Listen, it was hard when I was 12. For like a day or two.
Like a day or two.
I'll bet. Anyway, yeah, there was this girl I was with through a chunk of high school. We broke up in junior year, I think. She wanted to focus on school.
Okay.
She ended up getting a full ride to a nice college, so I guess she made the right call.
There you go. Marina doesn't miss a beat.
Nah, it was her loss.
Damn, Marina! I shift to free my arm that's pressed against Marina's sides and instead wrap it around her. At first I can feel her tense up, but then she gradually relaxes until most of her weight rests on me.
So, Amber?
She doesn't answer.
Mare?
Sorry, never mind.
Aw, Marina. She looks up and smiles at me, and I smile back. Maybe it's better not to think too much right now or ask too many questions. It's just the two of us being happy with each other, not minding that we're both sweaty and kind of gross right now, or that we haven't eaten in hours. Or so I think. It isn't long before she yawns and looks up at me apologetically.
Oops.
It's okay. I'm kind of tired too.
I'm not. I'm still too excited, still, but I don't want her to feel bad about going to bed. Plus, we did a lot of hiking today. I unwind my iron from her and switch which hand holds hers so that we can stand up. She's fidgety again, shifting her weight from foot to foot. Well, I guess it'll take some getting used to for both of us. I let go of her hand. It falls limply back to her side like she's lost control of it. Looking at me in the eye, I can tell she's waiting for me to do or say something. I take a step towards her, closing the short distance between us.
Well, good night.
Good night. And then I lean in and kiss her again. Aww! Smooches! Briefly, enough that she doesn't even really have time to react before I pull away. She blinks twice and rubs her lips and smiles.
Good night.
Aww. She walks backwards away from me, still smiling, and I'm grinning like an idiot too, of course. I'm tempted, so tempted, to invite her to sleep in my bed, just to be close to her, still. But I don't, since she's still so nervous and unsure. I don't want to make that harder for her. That's a valid point. You don't want to push her too much. I lick my lips as I go to turn off the light, still tasting the sweetness of her on them. Damn. As I climbed into bed, listening for the sounds of her breathing, I don't expect to get much sleep of my own tonight. Highway Blossoms. So there are some NSFW, there's an NSFW DLC, I think it is, and basically it adds, a woohoo scene between, I think, Marina and Amber. I don't have that installed right now for Twitch purposes, but if you're looking to see more of Marina and Amber, go check out the game for yourself on Steam. It is pretty spicy, I'm not gonna lie. It sounds pretty spicy. I haven't seen it yet personally myself, but when they have to add it in as a DLC, it just sounds pretty spicy. Sleeping on it is supposed to help you with tough decisions or with big changes, but that's hard when you can't pass out in the first place. Thoughts of Marina and of Gramps and of things changing and of all things staying the same all brewed together to keep me awake, just like the coffee is right now. When I got up this morning, the first thing I felt was surprise that I'd managed to fall asleep at all. The 3 hours I got must have snuck up on me. Yeah, we're not doing any of the NSFW stuff, but if you guys are interested in seeing some NSFW stuff between Amber and Marina, go check out the game for yourself. And the link is in the bio of the Highway Blossoms games on YouTube. So if you go to youtube.com/@princessevillanvods and check on any of the videos that says Highway Blossoms, there should be in the bottom of the description a link to the Steam of this game, so you can find it yourself. I drained another cup of coffee, number 4, and the last one from this pot. I dump another few scoops of grounds into the coffee maker and start a new batch. That's a lot of coffee, girl. I got to see the sunrise, which even I usually sleep through. Out here in the middle of nowhere with no light pollution, the sky was vivid, shards of jagged pink tearing into the blue. I nearly dozed off again just watching. Maybe someday I'll get to watch it with Marina. Someday when I wake up early again and if she manages to get her lazy ass out of bed. Lazy, but cute. Yesterday's events replay in my mind for the umpteenth time, and with them come the swirl of emotions that feel like a stomachache and a high, both at once. Things finally starting to feel normal between us again. Kissing Marina at the Valley of Fire, so romantic. Her leaning into it, also cute. Wondering if I should stop, adorable. Her not letting me, even better. Sitting close on the couch, not asking any questions, not answering them either. Wondering if I should. Ugh, it's too early for that shit. The familiar ping of the coffee maker tells me that I've been zoned out for a few minutes now. Smashing my fists into my eyes, I try to rub the sleepiness out. Movement from the back of the RV means that I must have woken Marina up. I can hear the sound of her bed creaking and the covers being thrown back. I feel a strange nervous elation as she appears in the hallway, looking bedraggled.
Good morning.
She groans like a zombie and stumbles towards me.
Want some coffee?
A stiff head nod. Smiling, I prepare her a cup. It's only half coffee. The other half is a boatload of sugar and the creamer that neither Gramps or I ever drank. I don't know why we had it, but it's not expired. When she reaches me, Marina leans into me, sort of falls, really, crashing into my shoulder.
Hey, careful!
A bit of coffee sloshes out in the mug and onto my hand, but I don't mind. She takes the drink and a couple small sips. Minor bliss replaces her glazed expression.
Good?
Good.
There's hardly any coffee in it, you know.
Just the way I like it.
Cute. I wonder if she had a hard time falling asleep like I did, but I'm hesitant to ask. Yeah, Amber didn't get much sleep, but I don't know if Marina got much sleep either. I'm afraid she'd say no. Yeah, maybe she just fell right to sleep. I'm afraid she'd say yes. Very true. Either option she's gonna say about that is just gonna drive you crazy, so you might as well not even ask him. So I just sit down and she takes a spot next to me. We both quietly sip our coffee as she rejoins the land of the living. Once she finishes her first cup, she's alert enough for a conversation.
Sleep okay?
I figure that's safer than flat out asking.
Yeah, kinda.
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 I like...
She trails off. Maybe I gave her alertness too much credit.
I forgot what I was just saying.
I laugh and stand up.
Don't worry about it.
Marina mumbles something incoherent.
What was that?
She clears her throat.
Sorry, I asked if you slept alright.
Not
Took me
really.
a while to fall asleep, but after that, yeah.
It's not strictly a lie. Eyes half closed, Marina smiles thinly.
Good.
I turn around so she doesn't see how preoccupied I am or guess what's on my mind. Whatever it is I'm dealing with, it's not her problem. I don't want her to worry about me. The floor creaks as Marina stands up too, but I don't face her.
So, where are we going today?
California.
No idea. We have a few days before the show. Anything you want to see?
Ew, some like sightseeing. Whatever it is, I'll make the trip. I'll bet you will, Amber.
We're not very far from Las Vegas, right?
I suppose not. I don't know where the Valley of Fire is in Nevada. I'll have to look that up later. But if they're in Nevada, they should be relatively close to Vegas at least. Maybe by a couple hours. So why does Marina want to go to Vegas so badly?
Not at all. It's just a couple hours.
Yeah, C called it.
Let's go there!
Why do you want to go to Vegas? Finally, I meet her eyes again. The smile on her face is pure and earnest. I can't help but return it. Very true. It is teaching me a lot about the landmarks in the Southwest, so there's lots to learn in this
that
game.
sounds like fun.
I like that they go to all these really real places, and it kind of inspires you to get up and go and see it yourself. Although I don't have the joy of having a motorhome. I just have a dinky little car, but it would still be fun to go travel around to all these places that they've been to and see it for yourself. Her warm figure is pressed close against mine. She smells like my shampoo. I wrap my arms around her and hold her close. Could I call this an educational game? I don't know. I think part of it is educational as far as like going and visiting all these places. Obviously the gold story is made up for the purposes of this game, but what I'm really interested in is whether this is an educational experience for like Marina, who's never had a girlfriend, and Amber, who's had a couple girlfriends but nothing serious, and them two ending up together and like shifting through all that newness stuff. I think that could be really educational for people who are like maybe they've wanted to get together with a girl but they've been too intimidated. I know I feel that all the time. But yeah, I think this game could be called educational in a sense. Just for a second, everything feels right, like it's all gonna work out. And I realize how badly I want it to. I squeeze tight and then pull away.
What was that for?
It was a good morning hug.
Just felt like it.
Aww. Worry creases her face.
Should I not?
Oh, don't do that. Don't be nervous. It's okay. You can do things. It's things that you've been doing already all along. Like, it's not any different now that you guys are like a couple.
Nah, you definitely should.
Cute. I like that Amber isn't pressuring Marina to do anything. She's just letting Marina act her normal self, which I think is a very positive and healthy way to introduce somebody to a relationship that maybe they're not ready for, or maybe they're not experienced enough for.
Go get dressed and I'll get us on the road. You cool with waiting to eat until we get there?
Yeah.
Cool. There are a million buffets and exotic restaurants there, so we can find something good.
Oh, hell yeah, you can.
I like Las Vegas already.
That's my hometown.
Torque.
Sin City. I would gently push her towards the back to go get ready. She sticks out her tongue over her shoulder as she goes. Watching, I rub my temple before climbing into the front seat. I'm looking forward to this, and I know Marina is too. So why does it feel like I'm doing something wrong? For a long moment, I just pressed my forehead against the steering wheel, not thinking much of anything. The sound of Marina's footsteps make me sit up, and I put on a smile as she hops into her spot.
Ready?
Yep.
Here we go then.
Here we go. And we head out towards the highway. Las Vegas appears on the horizon far before we actually reach it. Clusters of generic skyscrapers are interspersed with world-famous casinos, which come in many shapes and sizes. Some are indistinguishable from the tall banks and offices around them, except for gaudy logos and signs. Others are constructed to look like a pyramid, or a Roman palace, or a medieval castle. I know all of those places in Vegas. Those are all on the Strip. There's a distinct clash where some buildings are striking and clean looking, as if they'd just been completed yesterday, but then just beside them will be a sad looking place with faded paint and signs that aren't supposed to be flickering. As we enter the city limits, we're suddenly surrounded by the noise of traffic and the smell of exhaust. Exiting the highway was like crossing the boundary to another world. Marina drinks it all in.
Oh, what's that one? The super tall one.
She points to the windshield. Even though it's impossible to follow her finger, I know which one she's talking about.
That's the Stratosphere. I think it's one of the tallest buildings in the country.
Ooh, the Stratosphere.
Whoa.
Yeah, there's a lot to see, girlfriend. We're still miles out, but she already seems to be infatuated with the city. Her eyes are wide, and so is her mouth.
It's even cooler up close.
It is
I
cool.
never knew cities could be this huge.
Oh, that's right. She hasn't been out of her town. So this is her first time seeing a place that's so huge. That's cool. My favorite part about driving to Las Vegas is if I drive it from where I am here in hell, then I can reach it in a couple hours. But my favorite part is when you drive at night and you come over this mountaintop and then you look down and all you can see is a sea of glittering lights. It's so bad for the light pollution, but it looks so pretty from up above. So that's my favorite view of Las Vegas. I keep forgetting that she's never been out of New Mexico. Sure, there are a couple decently sized cities there, but nothing this impressive. I'm excited for her to experience all this for the first time.
Honestly, Las Vegas is kind of on the small side. At least compared to places like New York or Chicago.
Very true. New York and Chicago are much bigger. I've never been there, but I've heard that it's a lot bigger.
Seriously? That's insane. I can't imagine that many people in one place.
What about your house?
Yeah, that's true. She giggles.
That's pretty close.
She reminds me of a puppy, straining against his leash as she whips between looking out the windshield and out the passenger side window. To me, the parts of the city that we're in looks like any other downtown area, so I'm not impressed. Once we get to the Strip, where all the really famous casinos are located, it'll be different. But first, I have another destination in mind.
So, Mare,
Yeah?
ever heard of the World Carnival Buffet at the Rio?
Ooh.
I don't think so. Should I?
Buffets are my favorite thing to do in Vegas.
Well, if you like food, it's pretty much the greatest place on earth. They have, like, everything imaginable to eat. And lots of stuff that you can't imagine either.
Somehow our eyes get even wider.
I want to try it all.
I want that as a clip so that I can play it when I go to a buffet the next time. I want to try it all.
Pretty sure you'll change your mind when you see some of it. But that's the spirit.
There you go.
Are we going there now?
Hell yeah, we are. I'm starving.
Me too.
And she grabs my free hand, the one that isn't on the steering wheel. My heart leaps to my throat. Since we're at a red light, I catch her eye and she smiles, though her face is a little red. I smile back, but then face forward. Our hands hang limply between our seats. It isn't long before our palms are moist with sweat. I don't know whose. Her hand is so soft, like she treats it with lotion or something, but I know that's not the case. Smooth, like a baby's. It makes me feel a little self-conscious of my chewed fingernails and chronically dry skin. Hi, Laika. How are you doing, baby? She just curled underneath my desk, so now we have Laika with us. Say hi to everybody, Laika. Her tail's just going a mile a minute. That's so cute. Worried that I'm gonna gross her out or she'll pull away or something.
Is this okay?
Huh?
Maybe I was getting a little too distracted.
Is what?
She raises our linked hands.
This.
That's okay.
You just seemed kinda... Like, I mean, I can not if you...
Oh, Marina. No, don't do that.
No, it's fine. Seriously.
I'm talking louder than I need to, flustered as I try to backpedal. She doesn't look convinced.
Okay, sorry, I'm still... not really.
Really nervous about being with a girl? I feel you.
It's fine. You're fine, really.
Amber.
I'm the one who should be sorry. I'm not usually this weird in a relationship.
Now she looks almost offended. Uh-oh. Crap.
Not like that. I just mean...
A blaring honk from behind reminds me that I'm sitting stopped at a green light. The middle of traffic isn't the best place for this conversation. Breathing deeply as we pull ahead, I try to collect my thoughts.
Sorry, again. I just have a lot on my mind. Because I like you. I really do. You know that really freaking well by now.
She smiles, though she's still looking down and her hands are still together. And this is such an awkward time and place to be talking about this.
So it's my bad if I'm being weird or whatever. But being with a girl I met on the side of the road is a new one. Even for me, you know?
Ooh, I don't know if that's gonna come across well. Okay, good, it did. Finally, she laughs.
Yeah, I guess it's a little weird.
But you guys have grown so close over the last few days. I feel like I can still hear a slight quiver in her voice, but I might be imagining it. So I squeeze her hand tightly. Immediately, she squeezes back. I only have a vague idea of the direction I need to be driving. Fortunately, it isn't too long until the Rio comes into view, looming large a few miles away. We pull into the parking lot near the back where the only open spaces are left. It's pleasantly warm outside. I've heard stories of people's shoes melting on the asphalt during the summer, but now the weather's perfect. That is very true. If you go out during the summertime in Sin City or in Hell, it gets so hot that the ground will melt your shoes. It's insane. I've had that happen to a couple sandals of mine. As we cross to the parking lot towards the casino, Marina takes my hand yet again. I can feel my heart rate accelerate, but I squeeze her fingers all the same. Ew, this is a nice little CG we're getting. I like the place that they drew. Everything's so symmetrical. The first few steps inside are sensory overload. A million different sounds and a bajillion different lights all pour from the sea of slot machines. Even at lunchtime on a Thursday, the majority are occupied. We both take a second, frozen in place, to try and process it all. This isn't even my first time in a casino, but I'm overwhelmed, just like Marina is. I can see the reflection of the game in her eyes, like a cartoon character thinking of money.
Whoa.
You have no money to gamble with, Marina.
Yeah, whoa.
Is this one of the most popular casinos?
I wouldn't say it's the most popular, but it's pretty up there.
Not even close. It's big, but it's not the biggest.
Yeah, there's still plenty of things on the strip that are much bigger.
Whoa.
I tug her forward.
Come on, we'll have tons of time to gawk with food in our stomachs.
The mention of food steadies her steps. Giant overhead signs direct the way to the buffet. They must be visible from any part of the building. If this place is famous for something besides the food, I don't know what it is. We can smell it before we can see it, even despite the stench of cigarettes and BO that are pretty strong here. It doesn't smell like any one particular food item, but rather lots and lots of them. Guided by our stomachs, we half run towards the buffet. The line to get in is small since we got here so early. Marina hops up and down, trying to peek over the head of the bald guy in front of us.
Can you see anything?
Barely. It looks like it goes on forever.
Good.
I practically throw my card at the attendant. It reminds me of paying to enter an amusement park, and I'm just as excited. We're let through a small gate and into heaven. Food! Rows upon rows of stations form a small maze in the massive room. Deep bins full of food, fried or grilled or baked or roasted, fill nearly every inch of space in each station. Marina and I grab plates from the tall stacks nearby.
Meet you in the dining room?
She nods, already distracted and heading straight for the desserts. Oh my gosh. What did we get? Got some steak, some chicken, some shrimp, turkey maybe? A bread, a burrito with all kinds of stuff inside of it. Ham, egg rolls, a hot dog, potatoes. It seems pretty like buffet fare. It does look pretty tasty. I load my plate with a slice of prime rib, 2 rolls, and a scoop of mashed potatoes. I pour gravy over them, letting it run down and soak into everything else. For good measure, I also throw a pair of chicken wings from a nearby basket. They're so fresh that I can still see the steam coming off of them. I'm gonna need a second plate. I grab one off another pile and toss a small piece of salmon, some pasta gris from the Asian section, and a large spoonful of some sort of casserole. Ooh, crab legs, that's my favorite. I can't even guess what it is, but it looks good. Everything looks good. Solely because I can't fit more food on my plates, I head to the dining area and pick a seat where Marina will be able to find me easily. Sure enough, she emerges a minute later carrying 2 plates like I did.
Wow. You weren't kidding about trying everything.
Instead of big portions of a few things like I got, Marina has 1 or 2 bites of a couple dozen dishes. Roughly half of them are cakes or other sweets.
When in Rome, you know?
I slice off a bite of steak, and I close my eyes in ecstasy while I chew. It's divine. Holy cow. Barely balancing her plates as she slides into the seat beside me, Marina bumps against my shoulder as she gets situated, and I almost send a forkful of potatoes into her lap.
Oops, my bad.
In retaliation, I spear a bite of chicken from her plate, swimming in some Asian sauce.
No fear!
It's double fare.
That doesn't even make sense.
After that, she finally gets to take her first bite, and she melts. Just like me, her eyes roll back into her head while she chews.
I don't even remember what this is, but it's amazing.
She scoops up another forkful of what seems like some kind of barbecue brisket and holds it towards me.
Try it.
I open my mouth and she guides the fork in. I pull back to chew. It's got a nice smoky flavor.
That is good.
Right? I almost want to go get a whole plate of just that.
Yeah, it is unfair that we can't eat there right now. I agree with you, Bird. I want to be there right now. Give me all that food. I'm so starving. Then she tries the baked chicken that she has next to it.
Wait, never mind. This is even better.
There's a distinct lack of vegetables on both of her plates, but she seems to enjoy everything that she got. Every bite results in some statement about how it's the best thing so far.
Did you get any of this?
I gesture towards the slice of steak that I've almost finished.
Okay, open up.
She dutifully opens her mouth while I cut a bite for her. It's the best part, right near the edge where all the flavor is. Ooh, that is good. Oh, I'm getting hungry. It's a little awkward to be feeding her like this, but no one pays attention to us. When she swallows, she sits still. Very slowly, she opens her eyes again.
That was literally the best thing I've ever eaten.
You've said that like 20 times so far.
I mean it this time. That was illegally good.
Now that doesn't make any sense.
It makes double sense.
Oh, I love it. I love that callback. That's cute. Throw it back at her, Marina. We laugh.
Gramps always used to say that the best place to get a steak was at buffets like this.
Mm-hmm.
Not because they're always better, but because you can just go up and get slice after slice.
Mm-hmm.
Although, he's the only person I've met who could eat more than one.
Marina chuckles with me, but it's nervous sounding.
I used to tease him for it. No one should be able to eat that much meat. He would always complain about him being too done. He kicked his own steaks to be kind of medium rare. Closer to rare.
Gross.
Yeah, gross.
Don't tell me you eat yours well done.
Basically well done. I'm assuming Marina eats hers, like, really well done, but I prefer my steak, like, just a little under well done. Just a little bit. If it's too pink, then I have to throw it in the microwave, but... What does Marina think?
Marina, I don't know if we can still be together.
Are you guys done professionally now? That's what my husband always tells me whenever I'm, like, teasing him too much. He's like, we're done professionally. That sounds like what Amber's trying to say. We're done professionally. She looks pained.
I'm just kidding, you know.
Yeah, I know.
But it doesn't sound like it. I shut up. Probably not a good idea to talk about Gramps too much either. Our plates are mostly empty, and I look back at the serving area dubiously.
Round 2?
Round 2. What? She thinks about it, then shakes her head.
I think I'd explode if I ate much more.
You only had 2 plates at a buffet? The world's buffet?
Yeah, same.
Oh my gosh, you guys need to eat more. There's a soft flutter against my cheek as Marina leans over and kisses it.
Thank you for bringing me.
Aww.
Yeah, no problem.
I intently examine the hard plastic bench I'm sitting on. Too long passes by before I talk again.
So are you ready to go?
Oh, sure.
I can tell how on edge she is again. Good going, Amber. Nice. I launch to my feet.
Just leave the dishes on the table. Someone will come by and clean them up.
Yeah, that's how they know that the table's done, is if you just leave all your stuff on the table. I have no idea if that's true. It is very true. I remember I was at a buffet once and I tried to clean up and like put dishes like off to the side and they were like, don't do that. And I was like, okay, I won't do that. I start to leave, expecting Marina to follow me.
Amber!
But I turn around. She's still in the process of getting up.
Wait for me!
First, she has to brush her face with a napkin, and then she drains the glass of orange juice she was drinking. Then she scoots out of the booth and hurries towards me.
Are you alright?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, sorry. Just felt kind of nauseous for a second. Probably ate too much.
Ugh, what a problem.
Oh,
I doubt she's buying it. From the corners of my eye, I see her reach towards my hand. Then she seems to think better of it and lets hers fall back to her side. I grab it myself as I lead the way out of the casino. Here we go. Oh, this is a cute scene. What do we have here? Kyle's bar in the background. Is this like Wedgie's Wieners or something like that? This is cute. I like the Eiffel Tower in the background. Oh, and the Ferris wheel. That's so good. Outside, I take Marina's hand, but it feels limp inside my own. I let her lead the way down the street and towards the busiest part of the city. Sometimes stuff on the side catches her eye. Brightly colored sports cars that probably belong to millionaires pass us by pretty frequently. There are also people in bike-drawn carriages and double-decker tour buses. Besides the people, the buildings themselves all compete to stand out. Almost every storefront has some neon flashing to get you to look at it. Toy stores, restaurants, sex shops, and more all they for real estate. I've never heard that before. Within a 2-block radius, you could probably buy anything you ever wanted. Maybe half a mile ahead of us, on the other side of the road, there are street vendors on the sidewalk. They have awnings set up to shade themselves and their merchandise, so it's too far away to see what they're selling. Marina spots them and points.
ooh, let's go look!
You're gonna look at this. Okay. It's your visit to Las Vegas, Marina. But then her excitement vanishes.
I mean, if you want to.
Oh my gosh, Marina.
Yeah, let's check it out.
With a hopeful smile, Marina starts to run. A red light at the crosswalk makes her stop, not too far ahead though. I catch up just in time for the light to change. Before she can dart away, I take Marina's hand. She doesn't object, but she searches my face, so I smile and she smiles back. I let her pull me to the vendor, who seems to be selling a little bit of everything. T-shirts cover most of a wire rack that serve as a wall. There's also bins of buttons, keychains, and other small trinkets. One bin is full of tiny soapstone animal carvings, and those are what Marina goes for. I ignored the vendor and his Weasley small talk, refusing to be conned into buying tons of junk. After a minute, Marina sets a little stone coyote. I pay $5 for it. Practically robbery. Oh my gosh. I know, she was so like charging around before, and now she's like, if you want to, I suppose. Like, she's trying to be all cool and mysterious. We start down the road again with Marina inspecting her new treasure.
Why a coyote?
I thought she was the cutest. Look at the way the color changes here.
She holds the little trinket up by my nose. There's a spot where the color changes from brown to a milky white on one side of its face.
That is pretty.
Mm-hmm. Plus, wolves are pretty much my favorite animal, and coyotes are close enough.
Close enough.
Yeah? Have you ever seen a live wolf?
Live wolf? Is it wolf or woof? How do you guys pronounce it? Wolf or woof?
No, I wish. You?
You wish you'd seen a live wolf?
At Yellowstone a couple years ago, yeah. I begged Gramps to take me.
As soon as I mention Gramps' name, I see Marina's eyes flit towards mine.
What else do they have there?
All kinds of stuff. Wolves, bears, buffalo, elk, deer. Pretty much any kind of forest animal.
And they just wander around, right?
Yeah, there are even places where you can feed some of them out of your car.
Well, that's cool.
What about the meat eaters, like wolves and stuff?
There are spots where you can see them, but you can't feed them. They're still wild animals. It's not a zoo or anything.
Interesting.
I want to go there someday.
Aw.
I'll take you to see them sometime. It's a cool place.
Really?
Really,
Yeah,
really?
Sure.
I tried to play it off like it's not a big deal to me, but talking about future plans, anything that would happen after the festival, ignites that sense of uncertainty in my chest. The way her eyes light up when I promise to take her both soothes and agitates the feeling. No matter what, I'm happy that she's happy. I follow behind as she darts from stall to stall like a hummingbird. They all offer more of the same generic desert-themed trinkets or gaudy I love Las Vegas merchandise. The sidewalks are full of street vendors who shout and try to get the attention of all the dozens of people who pass by. Marina is the only one who gets hooked in. Of course she is. But she doesn't ask for anything else. Maybe there isn't just enough wolf merchandise. Every time she dives in to examine someone's wares, I hang back with my hands in my pockets and watch. Once she's done, we hold hands again. It's a nice cycle. But all that changes once we reach the strip itself, with its eclectic architecture and eccentric population. I point out some of the more famous places, like the Luxor, which is shaped like a pyramid, and Caesar's Palace, which looks like it was stolen from Rome. My favorite places are the Bellagio and the Venetian being done after a trip that the owner and his wife went to Italy, and she fell in love with it, so he made her a casino. That was called the Venetian. I think that's the story for it. And then the Bellagio is it has this beautiful garden on the inside that's really cool to see, and they have this beautiful garden glasswork up above their lobby. It's super pretty. I love both of those hotels, but I love everything on this strip almost equally though. The Luxor is really cool to look at if you're into Egyptian architecture and stuff. Anyways, I'll stop gabbing off of the strip and just keep playing the game. I could go on and on. Marina's oohs and ahs in all the right places, though to my surprise, she doesn't try to lead us to them. Instead, she seems dead set on taking us further and further down the row of sidewalk salesmen, like she's looking for something in particular. Not that I have any idea what that is. She leads the way, looking from side to side, but never quite seeming to find it. Until finally, she freezes in place. A large wave of pedestrian traffic behind us crests and spills around like we're not even there. Marina points ahead at one of the street vendors a few blocks ahead.
Found one!
I am yanked forward once again, being dragged by her newfound enthusiasm. Rather than a bunch of cheaply made goods, the merchant she's noticed has a bunch of colored cartoons, drawings of cartoon characters, barely recognizable due to the exaggerated style. A sign behind them advertises custom commissions, $30 each. That's not a bad price. I immediately understand what it is Marina wants.
No. No, no, no.
Yes, get a cartoon drawing of you two together on the strip. How wonderful. Do, 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 do. I love the music. I try to drag my heels, but I'm tugged along by Marina. She's surprisingly strong when she wants to be.
Amber!
She says my name without even turning around.
This has been on my bucket list for years.
Really? This is on your bucket list?
It's happening.
I've never heard Marina sound so serious before.
What has? Getting ripped off by a street artist?
It's $30. Not bad for a commission.
Having someone draw me.
That's funny because she's a drawn character. Somebody already has drawn her. That's funny. My protest going ignored, I fall in step and accept my fate. The guy manning the booth looks like he's completely out of place. He's wearing a flashy Hawaiian shirt and a baseball cap. When he notices Marina and I are approaching, he sits up from his slouching position and grins.
Hello, ladies.
Hi there. We were interested in having our portrait drawn.
We weren't. You were. Yeah, the irony is that they're already cartoon drawings. That's funny. I love that. But I don't protest. I've resigned myself to going along with whatever she wanted.
Perfect.
We are in Las Vegas just because of her. He frames us with his fingers like he's going to take a picture.
You girls stand right there and get comfy. I'll get ready.
He lurches off his wooden chair and grabs a sketch pad and a box of pencils.
We'll do you two in color. How's that sound?
That sounds good.
Great.
I just grimace. It's like another $20. I'm not fond of having my picture taken, and this isn't much better. I just never feel satisfied with how I look. That's why there aren't many pictures of Gramps and me, just a couple. I'll deal with it for Marina's sake. We stand underneath an awning, though its shade does little to help the heat. Marina shifts from foot to foot while I wait with my hands in my pockets. Every so often she turns to beam at me, though she doesn't say anything. Geez, not sure why she's so hyped up, but it's cute. The guy finally gets his stuff ready, all set up on an easel. The piece of paper he's using is almost the size of my torso.
Go ahead and scrunch together now.
Aw. He makes a motion with his hands. Marina stands near me and I wrap one arm around her.
Closer.
Closer? Our shoulders are touching.
Closer.
Now we're cheek to cheek. It's a big canvas. I don't know if you need them that close to each other. Calm down.
Ah, perfect.
We're like overlapping Marina's face. And he stares at us with a smile for just a second longer than is comfortable. It makes his expression seem a little more sleazy. Seem more than a little sleazy. Before I can change my mind, he looks down at the paper and starts to draw. We stand there, not moving or talking at all. Once Marina starts to ask something, but he waves his hand without even looking up.
Wyatt, if you move, you'll mess it all up.
So she shuts up. I can feel her jaw snap shut since it's smushed against my own. 15 minutes passed. My mouth is starting to get sore. I didn't have any guesses as to how long this would take, but it's starting to get annoying. Even Marina seems to be having second thoughts. She wriggles, just barely, probably to fight the growing tension in her muscles. Not enough to ruin the drawing, though. From the corner of my eye, I notice a couple glances that we get. We probably don't look especially out of place, more like hapless tourists who got conned into something. I guess we are, to an extent. I wouldn't mind, except that we both look ridiculous being stuck like nearly Siamese twins. Our artist draws with long, swift strokes, though I can't see what he's doing. He appears confident. Hopefully the result is worth the discomfort. And the $30. I'm nearly at my breaking point when he finally leans back and sets his pencils aside.
Done.
Do we get to see it? Marina peels away from me instantly, leaving a damp spot of shared sweat on my face. I rub at it as I follow her more slowly to see the results. As she cranes around the easel to look, I watch her expression go from excited to overjoyed. Her smile widens into a grin as she grasps the drawing in her hands.
Amber, look! It's us!
Oh my god. Oh, that's cute! Why did they give them such big boobies? What is going on with that? But they look cute! That's pretty good. That's not bad. Again, why are their boobs so huge? She flips it around so I can see. It's us. The first thing I notice is my boobs. They're a lot larger than in real life. Same with Marina's. Kinda. Yeah, Marina's already got big boobs. Other than that, the drawing is cartoony. We're recognizable, but our features are exaggerated. Marina's eyes are almost comically huge. Yeah, that looks like the artist is focusing on something else. In contrast, the buildings behind us in the drawing are sharply defined and realistic. Clutching the paper to her chest, Marina sighs a contented smile.
Thank you so much!
The artist swipes his sweaty palms on his shorts as he stands.
My pleasure, my pleasure.
And he looks at me expectantly. With a sigh, I pull out my wallet and pass him a pair of wrinkled bills. I pass it to him with a nod.
Y'all have a lovely day now.
With that, he slouches down again and pulls out a cheap-looking paperback novel. The drawing is still close to Marina's chest, like a priceless artifact. Every few seconds, she holds it away from her and grins as she looks at it. That makes it worth the cost. Finally, Marina rolls up the drawing like a scroll and tucks it under her arm for safekeeping. We stand in the shade of the awning while we look up and down the road.
We should split up for a little bit.
You want to split up? No way. Not in Vegas.
What?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. What? I can't help but yelp. That was the last thing I was expecting.
Not for long. There's just something I want to do.
And you can't do it with me around?
And you can't be there.
I guess.
Why not?
Shuffling in place, Marina looks away.
'Cause it's a surprise.
That's true. She can't get up into too much trouble because she has no money. But I'm worried about her getting, like, trafficked. She's a beautiful blonde girl with blue eyes. Like, I'd be concerned about getting trafficked in a city that big. Me
Mare,
get kidnapped
no.
or something.
This isn't some small town. This is Las Vegas. What if you get lost? Or some creeper tries to mess with you?
Exactly. There are a lot of creepy people in Vegas. Not all of them, but there's a lot of people with not good intentions in Vegas. And like I said, Marina is a beautiful blonde-haired girl with blue eyes, so she's going to be the first to be taken, like, not seriously by other guys and stuff like that. So if a creeper tries to get at her, she's not going to be able to do too much.
It'll be fine, Amber. There's like a million people on this street.
I don't know. I don't like the idea of us splitting up.
Yeah, so? That doesn't mean anything.
That's what I was saying.
I mean it. It'll be fine.
The only thing you can say is alright, because she has to, like, she wants to do this thing, obviously, and as long as she's safe about it, there's no real reason that she shouldn't be allowed to go out and do her own thing. She doesn't have to be monitored by us 24/7, but I'm still a little worried about her in such a big city. There's a fire in her voice that takes me by surprise. There's even a small spark in her eyes, like she's angry. My frown deepens.
But
Seriously, it's nothing bad, I promise. I just want to do something, but it's a surprise for you, so you can't be there.
Okay, okay. Her face softens.
Please, it'll only be a couple hours.
A couple hours?
Marina, I don't know.
Of all the cities to split up in, this is one is the worst. Not only do we not have a way to contact each other if needed, but the people aren't the sort that you can trust. Exactly, that's what I'm saying. If I leave her on her own, there's a good chance I'd never see her again. Very true. You need to be careful. Marina obviously doesn't think of these things because she was, like, out in the middle of the desert where something bad could have happened to her, and she was just flagging people down. So I don't think she has much self-preservation when it comes to situations where she could be taken advantage of or manipulated. But the way that she stands there, hands on her hips, looking determined, makes me not want to argue. Alright, just be safe, look at your surroundings, notice where you are, notice where other people are, don't talk to strangers, that kind of thing.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I mean it. Just give me like 3 hours.
3 hours, okay.
That's a long time.
That is a long time.
You think? I tried to keep it short.
In 3 hours, she could be snatched into someone's car and well into Arizona or California or halfway to Reno. It's irresponsible of me to let her go, but I can tell by looking at her that I don't have a choice.
Okay, fine. But can you at least stay on the street?
Okay, so I'm not meaning to make a bad sales pitch for Vegas, but like when you're in a big city, you need to like take care of your surroundings and know where you are and where other people are, because in large places like that, it's the easiest way for people to come up and just kidnap you. And that goes for all big cities like New York and Chicago, all that kind of stuff. Even down in Phoenix, it's not a huge problem, but even down in Phoenix, you don't want to be wandering around by yourself without a plan, especially if you know you're a good looking girl. You don't want to be just picked up by some random stranger, or like Marina, who could be manipulated very easily into going with somebody else who doesn't have the best intentions. And like I said, that happens in all kinds of big cities. You just have to be careful about it. It happens in Vegas not super often. I don't hear people getting like kidnapped, but my sister actually got kidnapped for a couple days by some drug dealers in Las Vegas, and they gave her a bunch of drugs and then they threw her out on the street. So you do have to be careful in places like this. It's very important, and I want to make sure that everybody knows that it's important to be safe in those kinds of areas. So I don't mean to make Las Vegas sound like it's scary. It's not really scary as long as you're with people and stuff. But yeah, she did go along with a stranger at the beginning of the story, and yeah, we're in a relationship now, but she could easily be manipulated into following somebody who doesn't have the best intentions for her. So that's where I really worry about Marina and other girls like her that think they can just walk around in large cities and not get in trouble. Yeah, it was a super weird story. I'm not going to get into it, but yeah, my sister did get kidnapped for a couple days in Las Vegas, and they gave her a bunch of drugs, and then they threw her out on the side of the street, and my grandparents found her because she wasn't far from where she was picked up, which was my grandparents' house. But anyways, not to make Las Vegas sound scary, it really is beautiful. It's a lovely place to go to. Some of the people are very nice. A lot of the staff are very nice and welcoming. I went there on my 21st birthday, like a lot of people do, and the guy behind the counter was like, "Happy birthday, welcome to the hotel." So they're very friendly. You just have to, like, in all big cities, watch yourself and make sure that you're staying safe, especially if you're a female.
It's a straight shot back to the Rio where we're parked, and so it'd be harder to get lost.
That's true. That's a good point. Marina nods fast.
That's fine. I heard he saw where I need to go, but you're not allowed to watch, okay?
I'd watch her anyways.
Yeah. I'll probably just go back to the car anyway.
It's really kind of nerve-wracking because she doesn't have a way to contact us if she gets into trouble. She doesn't have her cell phone, and we don't have a cell phone. So I'm just a little worried.
Isn't there anything you want to see?
Not without you.
Aw.
Aw, Amber.
She kicks at the ground.
I guess we don't have to.
No.
Go on.
Yeah, go on. You wanted to so badly. Go ahead. It's okay.
What?
Just stay safe.
Just be safe, okay? Don't do anything silly.
Yeah, don't follow strangers. Just
I guess
Be
it'll be
safe.
fun for a couple hours.
She takes the drawing in one hand and then hugs me tight. Then Marina leans up and kisses me on the lips. He pulls away before I can get into it.
Okay, I'll see you in a while then.
Alright.
Right.
We stand there, neither of us moving. I sigh again and then trudge back down the road. I glance back every few steps, but she doesn't move. Instead, she watches me and waves, probably making sure that I keep good on my promise not to follow her. As tempting as it is, I'll let her go for now. 3 hours can't be that hard, right? Turns out I was wrong. 2 hours are agony. I wander from store to store, stepping in without actually caring what's for sale. The first is a vegan restaurant. I don't try any samples. Just next door is some fetish shop with its windows covered. All the lights inside are colored, mostly red or sometimes violet. The girl behind the counter, pale-skinned with an artificially black hair, gives me a smile that I return. But I don't stick around. I don't even know what I'm doing. Going through the motions of being a tourist, I guess. Technically, I am exploring Las Vegas. Tomorrow, I'm sure I won't be able to remember a single detail of these shops. Up ahead is yet another street vendor. His setup is nearly twice as long as most of the others and includes large glass display cases. Looks like it must be a pain to transport. I wander over, pretending to be interested. The clerk, a Hispanic man with a short goatee, watches me but doesn't say anything, not even a greeting. It's all cell phones and phone accessories, chargers, cases, cords, and the like. Nothing relevant to me. There's a special discount on prepaid phones and time cards right now, it seems. A half-dozen identical posters plastered in the wall of the longest case. I stare at one of the flyers, though I'm not actually reading it, just imagining if Marina and I had cell phones. It might help at times like this. Times when I'm being ridiculous and clingy and an idiot. I don't think you're being an idiot, Amber. I think you're being well-reasoned. Being able to reach her any time would be nice, but would they get much use? That's when I realize something, and I'm dumbfounded by a simple fact. What it is that's been bothering me since we split up. This is the first time since meeting Marina that I've been on my own, that she wasn't just a room away or within shouting distance. Even though it's only been a couple hours, I suddenly feel profoundly alone. It's pathetic, I know. I'll see her again in less than an hour now. But the anxiety of separation gets the better of me. It makes me sick as all the horrible scenarios rush into my head again. That's anxiety for you. The ones where something bad is happening to her and she's not able to call for help. I look at the phones in the case. I've never had one, so I'm not very knowledgeable, but they look cheap and flimsy. I tried to find a brand name, but it wouldn't mean much to me even if I could. The only names I'd be familiar with are those massive companies who make everything, not just phones. The ones whose merchandise costs hundreds, if not thousands of dollars. I think Marina had a Heisei. I've heard they're pretty good. Then again, I've also heard about shady stuff with them suddenly replacing all their production workers with robots. Gramps said the sort of thing would be part of the New World Order. Whoa. Doesn't matter though. It's tempting, but there isn't much point. In just a week, less than now, even, the festival will be over. And after that, well, a phone gives us a way to stay in touch. Once she's back home, I spin around and walk away in a hurry, suddenly feeling sick again. I must have looked like a lunatic, coming up, standing still, then freaking out and leaving. Oops, let's save while we're here. I didn't mean to hit this button, but we're gonna save. Ooh, we're already at our 2-hour mark. I'll go a little bit further today. I'm really into the story. I want to wait until Marina comes back. I want to know that she's safe. Maybe that's why the guy didn't say anything. I look like just another insane junkie. I picture some tweaker stepping out an alley towards Marina, who of course wouldn't even notice, and I shove those thoughts out of my head. 1 hour, just 1 more hour. Chill, I tell myself for the 1000th time. Across the street from the phone cars, there's a bright green sign for a candy store. One of those places that has floor-to-ceiling bins of gummies, and they sell by the pound. I half expect to see Marina in there herself. Getting her a surprise bag of sugar might be a good way to try to make up for being weird. Until the next time I act weird, that is. Across the street as soon as there's a gap in the traffic, not bothering to go to a crosswalk. The doors have an outline and handles that are all the same lime green as the sign. When I step inside, I see that the walls are too. It's reminding me of slime from those old shows I used to watch on TV that would be sprayed onto the audience or cast members. Nickelodeon. Not the most appetizing impression. Selection is good though. Like I expected, there are more varieties of candy than I've ever seen in a single place, only pictures. There are several different types of plastic bags that you can fill, ranging from I'm on a diet to garbage bag sizes. I grab a medium-sized one. Then I realize that I don't know what to get for Marina. I don't think it matters. Definitely chocolates, but with or without nuts. I can't remember if I've ever heard an opinion. I try to recall what she's gotten at gas stations along our trip, but I never paid that much attention. Maybe I should just go for a mixture of both, but then what if she's allergic or something? It probably wouldn't have ever come up since we always eat out and order for ourselves. I don't want to give her a 3-pound sack of anaphylactic shock. Gummies then, those might be safer. There are more types of gummy candies than I ever thought existed. Different flavored rings, candies shaped like the fruits they taste, and other things like chewy soda bottles. For just a moment I wonder about which ones I should pick. I think I remember her saying she loves raspberry, or was it strawberry? But I think she's gotten strawberry soda before, not that it means anything. This is a gift, so I want it to be perfect, not a bag full of things she dislikes. Then I remember. Marina likes pretty much everything. That's what I was gonna say. Marina pretty much likes everything, so you probably just get her like a sack of sugar and she probably wouldn't care. Cute. Elated at the simplicity, I dump a small scoop of just about every sort of gummy that they sell. For good measure, I get a second smaller bag and fill it with some malted chocolate balls, caramel clusters, and plain old chocolate chunks. Safe options. I haul the 2 bags over to the counter. There's just one attendant, and she's currently ringing up a mom with her 2 sons. The kids dart around the mom's legs, rattling displays and knocking items off the shelf. No one makes them stop or fix their mess. One of the kids stares up at me and I frown at him deeply. Oops. He stops running and hides behind his mom's legs. Good. When they leave, the kid is still clinging to her like a bear cub. I set my bags up on the counter and kneel down to replace some of the spilled items. As I do that, the shopkeeper comes around front, nearly bumping into me.
Oh, you don't have to do that. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
I look up directly into her knees. I straighten up and suddenly worked way too close. Stumbling backwards, I grab the counter to support myself. She laughs, eyes crinkling. She's cute. Her tan skin is complemented by the bright red uniform she wears. A little name tag on the counter says that her name is Cassie.
You know, there's a special going on right now.
What kind of special?
Oh yeah?
A stack of postcards sit by the credit card machine. She hands me one.
If you buy 10 more bags, you get one for free.
Oh no, that's way too much candy. I try to imagine how much candy that would be. You need a wheelbarrow to haul it all out. Cassie laughs, probably at my expression.
Yeah, we haven't had many people spring for that one.
The person I'm buying this stuff for probably would, if she was here. This'll probably be gone by tonight.
I gesture at the bag, still sitting on the scale.
Oh, shopping for your sister, or?
Nah, my girlfriend.
My girlfriend. I try out the word, seeing how it sounds in relation to Marina. As expected, it makes my heart skip a beat. During that beat, I feel like I see the shopkeeper's face fall, just for a second.
Yeah? Lucky girl.
Ooh, so many romantic people in this city. We meet so many people who got so much feelings for us. This is cool.
Thanks.
I don't know if she means because of the candy or because of me. After ringing up my bag, she dumps them into an even larger bag. That seems unnecessary, but I guess it makes them easier to carry. She passes me the candy as well as the receipt.
Have a good day.
Bye,
Try the
Cassie.
peach rings. They're my favorite.
Aw.
I will. Have a nice day too.
Girl waves as I leave the store. Outside, I checked the receipt since I really wasn't listening to the total. It looks like she didn't charge me for the smaller bag. I glanced back inside, but she's disappeared into the back room. I guess that answers my earlier question. Flattered, I head back to the Rio where we parked. It's not long until I'm supposed to meet Marina, and if I spend too long outside, her present will melt. We don't know that. We don't know what she's getting us. Oh, her present about the chocolate and the candies and stuff is gonna melt, yeah. Walking back to the casino where we parked is way faster than leaving it was. That's probably because I'm still missing a human pinball, but I'm not held up every time we pass the shop. I say that, but of course I'm eager to see her again. In some parallel universe where I hadn't met Marina, I might have stuck around at the candy store to chat for a longer time. But unfortunately for Cassie, I already have someone. The parking lot at the Rio has filled up even more. Getting out of here is going to be a pain, since there isn't a whole lot of room to begin with. I make my way to the RV and I let myself in. It feels like an oven, and the first thing I do is turn on the AC. I set the bags of candy down on my bed to expect them. As I feared, the chocolate is slightly melted, streaking brown against the clear plastic. It's not too bad though, and a couple hours in the fridge should have it as good as new. I leave the gummies on the counter since I didn't suffer as much on the walk back. Marina and I are supposed to meet up here in half an hour. Since it's so soon, I may as well just wait here where it's more comfortable. I lay down on my bed and try to read that book Marina's been sucked into for a few days, but I can't stay focused on the words long enough to process them. It doesn't take long before I give up and set it aside. Now I just stare up at the ceiling. I used to do this most nights when I couldn't sleep, after Gramps passed, but before I met Marina. It wasn't that it comforted me or anything, but the amount of effort it took to not think of anything usually led me to falling asleep without realizing. Instead, this time, I let my thoughts wander. Sleeping has been a lot easier lately. Actually, doing something during the day and getting exercise helps a lot. But also, my thoughts have been less cloudy, less muddled. Sure, there are still moments where I think of Gramps and the pain hits me again. Having Marina around makes those rare. Someday I might be able to think about him without it hurting. I don't know if I want that, though. Isn't that just like forgetting? People say you move on and get over deaths, but what does that mean for the person you lost? I roll onto my side and stare at the picture of me and Gramps hanging on the wall. I can't take it, and I roll onto my other side. Groaning into my pillow is cathartic. Without Marina here, I can be as loud as I want. To my surprise, no tears come. Anyone walking outside would probably think I'm dying or in pain, but I don't care. Alone time has its upsides to it after all. Grieving is complicated and exhausting. Sometimes I wonder if I'm even doing it right. There must be something wrong with me. I don't even want to get over Gramps. I sit up, still hugging the pillow to my chest. Marina will be back soon. Maybe I can talk about this with her. As I think that, I feel a stab of guilt. It's not her problem. It's something I have to deal with myself. But now that you're in a relationship, you two can tackle those problems together, and you can find new avenues of thinking through Marina that you wouldn't normally have yourself, Amber. So maybe it is something that you should talk with her about. You guys need to rely on each other if you guys are going to be in a relationship. And it's no good in a relationship if you can't rely emotionally on your other partner. I force myself up and over to the driver's seat. I'm not going anywhere, but I can listen to music and watch for Marina's return. I stick in a tape and kick back. A few songs pass by. It's been 20 minutes or so. I start to scan the parking lot, looking for her familiar red hair. Red hair? She's blonde. Wait a second. What? The tape ends. That's okay, it was a short one. I replaced it with another one, chosen at random. Still no sign of Marina. I get up and check the clock. She's about 10 minutes late now. Maybe the clock is off somehow? I hop out of the RV and ask someone for the time. It matches up exactly with what the clock said. Worry begins to tighten my stomach, but I force myself to calm down. It's Marina, and it's only been 15 minutes. Most likely she got distracted. It is on her way right now. 5 more minutes pass. I begin to pace back and forth. Should I go look for her? I have no idea where to start, though. And if she got to the RV and I wasn't there, she might go looking for me instead. No, I have to stay and wait. Yeah, that's hard. Another 10 minutes. She's half an hour late now. I'm so buying us cell phones. As soon as she's back here, we're going to get a guy on the street and we're getting prepaid phones. From a few streets away, I can hear the sound of a siren, a fire truck, or ambulance or something. The knot in my throat feels larger. I cough just to relieve some of the tension. I have to go look. I can't take just sitting here. I switch off the engine, throw my shoes on, and climb out. And then I see her. Head down, walking slow, but coming towards me.
Marina!
The relief in my voice probably conveys the panic that just drained out of me. She looks up at the sound of her name, and that's when I see that she's crying. Why are you crying? Who hurt you?
What's wrong?
I rush over.
What's wrong?
Alarm poisons my voice. Did something happen to her after all? I put my hands on her shoulders and shake her gently.
Marina, talk to me. What happened? Are you okay?
She still can't talk, but she nods. Thank God. There are no sobs, but her eyes are pouring tears. Every so often she hiccups, like she's barely restraining herself from fully bawling.
Come on.
I take her hand and lead her back to the RV. No one gives us a second glance. This is probably a common occurrence here. Marina silently follows me into the RV. I lead her to my bed and have her sit down. I sit beside her. Alternating between rubbing her back and her shoulders, I try to get her to calm down. Slowly, her breathing slows to normal. When I offer her a tissue, she blows her nose loudly. Then she takes a few more to wipe her eyes. Rather than prod her more, I wait, even though it takes all of my self-control. It's very good, Amber. Let her take her moment and let her come out to you whatever is going on, like, on her own time. Don't push her. After a shuddery breath, she looks at me, eyes still watering.
I messed up, Amber.
Oh no, honey!
Bad.
How?
Her breath catches again and she sobs. It's hoarse and seems to take her by surprise. I immediately rub her shoulders again. And then there's a knock at the RV door. Who
What
could
the
it be?
hell?
Who could it be? I stand up, but I can't see who it is from here.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, Amber, go handle the situation. I unlock the front door and open it to an all too familiar face.
It's time to pay up!
Oh, it's Mariah. What are you doing here in Las Vegas, Mariah? I shut the door. Before it's even fully latched, Mariah starts to pound on the door. I lock it and head back to Marina.
Let them in.
Huh?
Go let them in. It's Mariah, right?
Yeah, but how did you...
How did you know that?
Wait, does this have something to do with...
Marina nods. With a bad feeling about it all, I go back to the door, which is still suffering Mariah's assault. I open it and step back so they can enter. Mariah storms in with a huff, acting like she always as if she owns the place. Joseph and Tess file in after her. Joseph gives me a smile and a small shake of the head.
Sorry.
He says it so quietly that I don't think anyone else hears. I figure I'll find out why he's apologizing here in a second. Like a conqueror, Mariah marches over to Marina and jabs a finger in her face.
Time to pay up, ditz!
In 2 large steps, I move between the two of them.
Okay, what the hell happened?
Didn't you hear?
No, she
I
just
was
got
about
back.
to when you attacked my front door.
Well, allow me to deliver the bad news then.
Sis stole Marina's gold.
Really? What?
What? Did not!
It's impossible to figure out anything out. Marina is crying too hard to talk, and Mariah is just yelling nonsense like always. I turn to Joe, who's keeping a safe distance along with Tess.
Can you please explain?
Sure. Mare ended up making Marina a bet for all the gold, which she lost. It was a pretty silly thing, and I told her just to let it go, but here we are.
A bet for all the gold? I'm equal parts amused and disgusted that Joseph uses the same nickname for Mariah that I do for Marina. Come to think of it, I'm not ever sure if I ever noticed how similar their names
A
are.
bet's a bet, and she lost fair and square.
What'd you guys bet on?
I don't think it was fair.
Yeah, Tess doesn't think it's fair.
The odds were kinda in your favor.
Yeah. I turn to Marina, the only person whose opinion really matters to me.
Was it fair?
Slowly, she nods.
What game did you play?
Poker.
Poker? Oh my gosh. How did this happen? You were only supposed to be gone for 3 hours. Were you gambling? I glare at Mariah, who at least has the shame to look away. Anyone who spent more than a minute around Marina would know there's no way she could keep a straight face. I sigh and I sit down on the bed next to Marina. I wrap my arm around her. She leans into me, eyes
You
moist.
know you can only take half the treasure, right? Marina and I split it equally, so she couldn't bet away my half.
That wasn't the deal.
Yeah, calm down, Mariah. You're just mad that you never found any of the treasure yourself.
That's the only deal she could have made. But I'll bet you my half against hers.
Oh, yeah!
Amber, no!
Yes, Amber, yes! I squeeze her affectionately, but I shake my head.
It's fine.
I stand and go to where we've been stashing the gold. I pull out the box of nuggets and open it so Mariah can see. Her eyes light up and she licks her lips. I snap the box shut.
Fine, but we're not playing poker.
Oh yeah?
What are you
What
playing?
game then?
She thinks about it for a moment.
Blackjack.
Blackjack? Seriously, blackjack is more about luck than it is skill. I'm not that great at poker though, so blackjack might be the most fair game we could play. I wonder why Mariah suggested it though. Maybe she expects me to win at poker. Oop, if that's the case, then the mind games have already begun.
Fine. It's a bet.
Ooh. Marina stopped crying. Her breath comes in little spurts, but she's mostly in control of herself. She tugs at my shirt.
Amber, really? You don't have to do this. I screwed up.
It's
It's
okay.
okay.
I'll fix it. That's what I'm here for, right?
Yeah. I can't read the look on her face, the one that vanishes after a split second.
Okay.
Facing Mariah again, I put the gold away.
Where will we play? There's not enough room here.
There's a casino close by. Down the street from this one. We can do it there.
I'm not old enough to gamble. Not legally, at least.
She shrugs.
Doesn't matter. This place won't check your ID. Probably gonna be closed within a year.
I don't like the sound of that. I feel like I'm being set up.
It's true. It's where we played.
Really?
Yeah, they had like party rooms that were empty. We just used one of those.
I've never heard anything like this place, but if they let Marina in, then they'll probably let me in too. I'd also feel better about playing with cards that I know Mariah won't have messed with.
Fine. Tell me how to get there, and I'll meet you in a little bit.
She gives me directions as well as the name of the building. Worst case, Marina can probably help find it, maybe. I count out Marina's half of the gold and put it into one of the boxes before handing it to Mariah, who snatches it in my grip.
Enjoy, because this is the only time you'll get to touch the treasure.
With a final sneer, Mariah leads her troop out of the RV. Just still looks pretty sorry about the whole thing. The door slams shut and we're left in silence. And that is where I think we're going to end it today. So next time we will have a blackjack meeting with Mariah, and that'll be fun. And we're betting all of our gold so that we can get Marina's gold back. So hopefully they don't have me actually play blackjack, because I'd be terrible at that. But anyways, thanks for joining me today, guys. Thanks so much. I really appreciate all the chatting that's been going on and hanging out with me for stream. If you're interested in other games that we played, or you want to see the first part of Highway Blossoms, get caught up, go ahead and check out the VODs channel, youtube.com/@princessevillan VODs, EVILLAN. And yeah. Thanks. I'm glad I'm making this cliffhanger. It's the perfect time for it. And we're already a little past our 2-hour mark anyways. So anyways, I hope you guys join me next week for next week is Halloween, right? Yeah. So Tuesday we're playing Grim Fandango. Thursday, instead of playing Okami, we're going to play a spooky visual novel dating sim where we'll be dating monsters, I think, and that should be pretty fun. And then join me back on the 1st for more Visual Novel Friday, and we'll get back to Highway Blossoms. So we'll take a little break from Okami just for a day so that we can hang out and have some fun for Halloween. Maybe I'll eat some chocolate while I'm on stream or something like that. But anyways, thanks for joining me, guys. I super appreciate it. I hope to see you guys next week when we play more games and more Highway Blossoms. But yeah, have a great night, and I will see you guys later. Bye!